Welcome to another episode of Pels in a Blender with your boy Davis. I got the man in the building, Chedda Chaz. You heard me? What's good, bro?
Oh, I'm cooling,
Hey,
brother. What's going with you, man? Thanks for having
I'm
me on.
cool. Absolutely, dog. Absolutely, bro. I'm chilling, man. It's kind of how we even came up with the show. You always posting on X, you know what I mean, with the trades and putting like you work from the trade angle. And did you actually drop your members only episode with
Yeah, I dropped. It's gonna be what up, Michael Morgan? It's gonna be a few episodes. We long interview, cut up a few pieces of it. I got one episode that dropped last night. We typically drop on Friday, so I got another episode that's gonna be dropping this Friday, and we just gonna keep it going, man. So far, everybody's been receptive to it. Everybody's happy with the episode, so we can do. It's all about consistency, man, and putting that content out there. Because I'm starting to stray away from the Pelicans a bit more and going more into the Western Conference in general. So it's good to have people with some of that know-how, some people with hands-on experience who've dealt with all these Western Conference teams, and you could get some tidbits from them on what's happening, especially in the Southwest Division, because that's kind of what Dobson specializes.
Facts. Well, I don't know if y'all know or whatever, but like we'll pub that more for sure. But like, man, follow Chaz page, become a member. You hear me? Because the members only shows, the Pro Pels and the Chaz members only shows always got exclusive content that you can't get nowhere else. So y'all got to make sure to go ahead and do that, man. Support my dog, bro.
I appreciate it,
So
brother.
absolutely. So with that being said, bro, how we even come to the idea of this episode? You damn near regular on the show. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. I appreciate it.
absolutely. So you always putting out like ideas, and I always look at you kind of like you like the planning portion of what this team should be doing and how they should value their assets and maybe value other people's assets, and like you've always had foresight as to what this team possibly could do. And then, you kind of putting out possible trades and stuff like that. Whoa, was good.
Shout out, Liam. What's up with you? What's that in the paper, boy? Shout out to
What's
everybody in the
down?
chat, man.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. So you've always put out like information looking forward, right? But I don't think we've ever done like a true episode about like the trades. I know in the offseason we did like the ideas of bonus and stuff, but not something during the season that's tangible when you starting to hear information like Kaminga possibly being moved, which they kind of talk, but like who for the Pelicans are going out and what like prospects could they possibly bring in. So like when as the season has unfolded so far, right? How do you feel from a asset standpoint? Like what should the Pelicans be focusing on at this point? And you know what I mean? They 5 and what's good, bro? What's good, Hopper? They 5-22, right? But it seems like the things are trending upwards, right?
Well, what
So
up, Jaden? Shout
what's
out to
good,
Jaden,
bro?
man.
Appreciate everybody, man. So how do y'all feel the Pels? You hear me?
Doing
Everybody
well,
doing
family.
fine, bro. Everybody doing fine. Appreciate y'all. So how do you feel the Pels at this point with the 5-22? How do you feel the Pels should be moving going forward?
Truthfully, and some people might think this is crazy, but I don't think much has changed. I think the answers in the offseason are the answers now. I think you're in the evaluation process. I still view this as a multi-year approach. I think you still need a center. You still need probably a veteran backup point guard. You still need to add 3-point shooting. I think one of the things people probably didn't anticipate, I think we could all kind of anticipated Herb Jones returning to form. Whereas, if you've seen the Propel show, I had conversations with with Grub. I'm like, the best is probably we probably already seen. It's over. Like you probably already seen the best. So my issue initially was that with some guys, you want to move on while they're still tradable assets, and I mean they still viewed as positive assets. One of the issues the Pelicans routinely ran into though is like you said, shout out to D boys that joined your membership, Chaz. Big Dog got them throwback Netflix, right? Yeah, I appreciate you, Big Dog. Shout out to you.
And
One of the things the Pelicans routinely run into, and I think that kind of explains why they signed a Kevon Looney for $8 million, why you give Herb Jones that type of extension, and why you extend Jordan Hawkins is because if you're the Pelicans, you know you need tradable salary and you need it moving forward. So I think that goes to show you that they also view this as a multi-year approach because there's no reason you extend Jordan Hawkins for $7 million or you pick up that option if you're not planning on trying to move him in the offseason. It's a multi-year approach. Kevon Looney got a team option. Herb Jones he still has another year before his money starts to really kick up. So I think the answers are still the same, man. You know, you still looking for that buy low center candidate. I don't think the Pelicans are asset poor, and you're still looking to add 3-point shooting. So you got a gem in Queen and Fear, seemingly.
so do you think they should be in? So it's weird kind of right now because I agree with the multi-year approach. And if you really listen to Joe Dumars and some of the stuff he said, that's why he said I never put a win total on this season. I think he truly came into the season. And granted, I do think they gave up the draft pick to get Queen, and I don't think they anticipated being this bad. You know what I mean? There's no way you could have anticipated them being this bad. But I think he did have an idea of like, I'm gonna just let it play out and evaluate, you know what I mean? Evaluate the talent, like while I'm there to physically see like work habits, you know what I mean? Like they've been talking about the rehab processes and stuff like that. Like I can finally put my eyes on the players and see exactly what it is that they have going on. So, and then kind of move forward with that. So do you think Joe has like his mind has shifted? Because initially I still think to a degree he should be in asset like talent acquisition mode. You get what I mean? Like
yes,
depending on what the talent is, and that's kind of what the show is going to be about, but talent acquisition mode, but also kind of playing it smart. So I guess like trying to figure out like what's the balance in that? Like how do you determine that?
I'll put it like this. I think that's a great question. I totally agree that they should be in talent acquisition mode because it gets to the point where it's like playing. Let's just say you play basketball in real life, right? Let's just say this on a regular level. You go from being the best person in your family to the best person in the park to maybe the best person at your middle school. And then, once you get to high school, once you get to college, the competition is shifted. Shout out to E, what up with you, E? And now that you're in the big leagues and the league is getting more and more talented, you're only going to extract so much on-court value from the Herb Joneses, the Jose Alvarados. Eve Meese's still young, but guys like Eve Meese, even Carlo, guys that they've overachieved and they've shown glimpses of what they can do. But at the same time, the rest of the league, the trajectory is headed up. Like, you know what I'm saying? The Rockets got so much talent, they don't even know what to do with it. Like, they got too much talent. OKC, that's another team. They need to consolidate at some point. It's too much talent. Like, there's teams, and I think the Pelicans just have to have a reality check that, where you might have stood in the talent echelon a couple of years ago, you're no longer there. So you need to be able to acquire more talent so you consistently have a puncher's chance every single night. And I think, the injuries don't help. Guys not having their best years don't help. The coaching situation doesn't help. But 100% healthy, James Borrego, the head coach since the beginning of the season, you still have a major talent issue on the defensive side of the ball and from the three-point shooting aspect. So no matter what, you need to go out there and add more talent. And I hope that they're recognizing this. And I don't think they're going to cower. I think they are going to be aggressive, and I think they are going to go out there and look to acquire talent. And I think there's been some tidbits on some of the people they might be looking at. So that's interesting.
Yeah, so we'll start to like slowly, like essentially transition into that because my question is now. So I do think they need to be in talent acquisition mode as opposed to just selling off you know what I mean, kind of selling off your players because a lot of people kind of like already want to hit the reset button, right? Matter of fact, let's address that real quick, and then we'll actually go into some of the trades and stuff. A lot of people, because the season is a loss, Zion's been hurt again, you know what I mean? Like you just kind of frustrated with it to the point where everybody's just like, all right, look, wash your hands with him and then just move on. Let's hit the reset. Like Queen and Fears have looked pretty good for not even just for rookies. I think they look like they generally have promise. Generally good players, got promising futures. They got, solid numbers and stuff like that. So I think the fans are just kind of like, hey, let's just go all the way into that. But I don't think people really understand the process of what a full rebuild looks like. Like you see OKC today and be like, man, OKC looks amazing. One, you still got to get lucky, right?
Yeah,
like
extremely lucky. Yeah.
You still got to get extremely lucky. And like OKC was still bad for like, what was it, like 4 or 5 years or something like that?
Yeah, they tanked several years in a row.
Yeah, so like you went from the Russ PG playoffs, you lost in the first round to what's his name? Whatchamacallit got you in, CP got you in, but then after that, and even that was technically a down year, you just overachieved. But after that, like the rebuild was significantly like a significant time realistically until you hit Chet. Like Chet is the player, in my opinion, that like took OKC over the top. But
he was hurt his first year, right?
Exactly, and he was hurt too. So like people want the OKC formula, but like, dog, it's that shit don't just happen that way.
I think, and I had tweeted this a while ago. Well, that's why I would say there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just all about being objective and trying to just see the big picture as much as you can. OKC has had Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Durant, Green, James Harden,
Serge Ibaka.
They've had Paul George. They've had all this talent. None of those guys accomplished anything necessarily team-wise. Individually, you got 2 MVPs, and James Harden did this thing later, but as a unit, none of those guys really accomplished anything. You're talking about one finals appearance. So there's really no right or wrong way to do it. A lot of it is luck, hitting on the Jalen Williams draft. You know what I'm saying? Getting lucky enough to land Chet. And Chet never really, or hasn't become who people would have presumed he was going to become at that point. You got, what's the team? I'm sorry. Jabari going number 3 instead of number 1. Because who knows how that changes the situation with Paolo, Chet, and Jabari. Because if Jabari goes number 1, maybe OKC takes Paolo at number 2 and Chet falls to number 3. So many things could have changed in that dynamic. I just think for the Pelicans, one thing, because you know what? I can't say it's a large majority of the fan base saying it, but I will say, I don't think people understand what an actual rebuild looks like. And I do think, as big as I'm a fan, as big of a fan as I am of Derek Queen and of Jeremiah Fears, you're talking about, you're gonna have to tank for years. You talk about probably going into those guys' second contracts. That's about 4 or 5 years just before to add talent around them.
Yeah. Unless one of them take
a monumental leap. And this is not a knock on Derek Queen, but if you look at all Derek Queen's comps, because I don't compare Queen to Jokic at all. Like I just don't make that comparison. But if you look at his comps, let's say Sengun, because I don't think he rebounds like Sabonis, but let's say Sengun. Nobody's building a team around Sengun. It's just not going to happen. That's the best case scenario, really. No one's going to build. Go ahead.
And even when you had Sengun, like I remember when Sengun was there, you still needed Jabari. You needed Steven Jabari Adams. Smith and Jalen Green, and then Steven Adams, and then they had to bring in Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks and Jeff Green, and like it. And now
you're bringing in Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? It's so that's what I'm saying. I think when people evaluate these things, or when they say that, when you look at other teams, even look at Sabonis, for example. Sabonis is a 4 who's accomplished some cool things at a 5, but when you watch the Kings and you read the
One
analysts,
playoff appearance.
yeah, everybody say, Sabonis really should be a 4. All we need is a 5, and we're gonna be all right. Like, it's gonna be the same issues every year. So I think you're looking more so into going forward versus going back and trading away your talent.
I agree. So with that being said, let's transition let's go through some of these comments, because a lot of people have ideas with who they would like to acquire. So a couple of these, not just who you like to acquire, who do you think the Pels for sure should move and for sure should keep? Now, obviously, if you get blown away with a deal, you know what I mean, you consider all options. But who do you think should be damn near the untouchables, other than maybe Derek Queen and Fizz, obviously?
To me, the only other real untouchable is probably Trey Murphy, right? I mean, then you got some other guys who they're not necessarily untouchable, but they kind of like inconsequential to a degree. Like, but as far as like the big money guys, I think the people, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I think the people you have to really look to see what's out there for, of course, is Zion. Of course, is DeJounte, Herb Jones, Jose, Jordan Hawkins, of course. I think if you were going to entertain trading a Trey Murphy or a Zion, to me, those are more off-season moves. But I think this season, you really need to look into trading Herb Jones probably right now, because you don't, like, things happen so fast in the NBA, and he's making 13 million right now, 13, 14 million. Next year, he's going to be making another 13, 14 million. If he has another year, at this point, he's had 2 bad years in a row. If he has another year like this season,
a complete
next season. It's going to look like that's a poison pill contract when his salary jumps up to 20 million. No one's paying that type of player $20 million anymore on a losing team. So you already have a small market, whereas only contenders are going to be interested in trading for a guy like that. And now he on this bad contract, you're just losing leverage as time goes on. So I think you should be looking to move on from Herb as fast as possible.
I also think, so because I was trying to figure out why Herb would be the guy for me and like to trade, or like is one of the must trades. Aside from just his play on the court, the teams, if you notice, the teams that are looking to acquire Herb Jones, Golden State, the Lakers, those are veteran teams, right? Like those are older teams that are trying to compete today, right? We need a player like Herb. We don't really care what he makes. We need him now for the next season or two to try and maximize our team.
And those teams also got guys, I'm sorry to cut you off, they also got guys like Luka and Donovan Mitchell that they want to keep. They want to make it like, yo, we doing everything in the world to keep you, man. We trying to build around you, man. They got people to impress. So that's another factor that can play in them overpaying.
The winning and stuff like that matter. So if the report today, who knows how true, was like the Lakers willing to give up 2 firsts for Herb, if you could get 2 firsts for Herb, you take 2 firsts for Herb. Like, it's pretty simple. But let's run through some of these real quick. Yeah. So one of them is, and we'll talk about it, is Clax and MPJ attainable for Zion, DeJounte Murray? Why would you want Claxton and MPJ? Why would you give up Zion and DeJounte in that deal? Like, what do you think about that type of deal?
I wouldn't do it, because I think those, what you're seeing with those guys, Claxton and MPJ in particular, they kind of excelling in a high usage roles. Whereas if you bring them to the Pelicans and they become more of like, ensemble type players, you know what I mean? As far as like MPJ, you're not getting the usage you was getting. Claxton, you're not handling the ball to be picking up no assists and all. That's just not going to be what's happening here for them. I don't think I just don't think that deal makes a ton of sense. And also not from a salary standpoint, because I'm trying to get off of money. I'm not trying to take on. And with Zion,
MPJ I could just cut him. A solid deal,
I could just cut him. And MPJ playing for an extension. So
here's another one. If we wait until the summer, I want Shaden Short. Like, I don't know if Portland willing to move players like a Shaden Sharp, but to be honest, when you reference a player like that, to me, my two must-haves for this team to have any form of success, I think Trey Murphy was a valuable piece and stuff. I think we've come to a point right now. I think we understand that he's not an elite wing. Not saying he's not. So when I mean elite wing, like Tatum, and you know what I mean, Jaylen Brown.
I would put him and Sharp in the same.
Realm. That sound about right. In order for this team to take the step, I think you need the stretch five finally find the right stretch five, and I think you also need an elite wing. So I don't know if Shaden Sharp is necessarily the elite wing, but the way he's athletic and score and stuff like that, if you put that next to Trey with Fizz and Queen and you find the right kind of center, that might be a nice little piece moving forward. But I don't know what, like, again, and we're gonna pull up the trade thing in a second. But I don't know why Portland makes that deal. What are you giving them the way they give up Shaden Sharp?
Yeah, I think Portland's gonna be looking to win sooner than later. So I don't really. No, can I answer this? I'm sorry.
Which one?
Shout out to Louisiana Gal when she talk about the Jonte thing.
Hold on, where we at? Where we at? We at the bottom.
It's about shout out Louisiana Gal. She said, Chaz, I saw DeJounte the Milwaukee room today. How would a trade like that work without them sending out Miles Turner? You know what, Louisiana Gal? I think online, I think people kind of ran with that a bit. Because Jake Fisher, how he worded it, I think he meant more so when DeJounte was in Atlanta.
Like they had interest.
Yeah, they had interest in him when he was in Atlanta. I don't know if that interest is still there. They probably could put together something along the lines of Bobby Portis and Kyle Kuzma. That's why I don't think something like that would happen, truthfully. Even in like a wild 3-team like situation, I just don't think something like that would happen, truthfully.
Do you think DeJounte has? I don't know what DeJounte's value is like, but do you think DeJounte has more value, like any kind of value around the league, to be honest, especially without, like, obviously people are going to want to see him play at all, but like, is it one of those situations where, like, Zion is a unique case because he has such little value around the league that he has like his value here is just like insurmountably more than it would be anywhere else. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, is that the same case with DeJounte and the $30 million? And I mean, I know he has time left on the deal, so you technically don't have to make a move. But I guess that also depends on what like process or where you are in the building process, like with the team. I guess you have to decide what you doing to even consider a move like that. No,
I think the only advantage DeJounte has is that Rich Paul is his agent.
That's a hell of an advantage, bro.
Yeah, or at least it used to be, because Rich Paul probably burns quite a few bridges these days. I think with DeJounte, I don't think he has any value at this stage. I think maybe if he had one less year on the contract, potentially, but I think at best, maybe you moving him to take on a longer, worse contract. Like that's just hypothetically, let's just say Sabonis, right? Just hypothetically, because I can't think of many people with longer, like worse contracts.
Levine maybe, but Levine's contract is long. It's only 2 years,
and it's like even like and even one can make an argument that them guys actually be playing, like I say Sabonis because Sabonis hurt right now, but I think I don't think he has any value though. I don't think he's gonna have value this season. Period. I think
like no matter how he performs or anything.
I think him even coming back is optimistic this year, like because I don't make much of like people dunking and the that type of shit, stuff, because he had posted something a while ago, I think on his Instagram story,
when he sprinting and stuff like that. He was running and stuff.
Well, no, not that. It was he was just saying how he can't believe the progress he's made, and it's like, if you was making this crazy progress, you probably would have been back by now.
I was about to say he's not even with the team right now, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, he's in Cali right now, from my understanding. But if you was making like this crazy, your initial projection was January at no matter what, like January, February, no matter what, this regular schedule programming. But if you was like super ahead of the curve, you probably would have been back in December.
Yeah,
and
true.
not only would you, even if you had come back, the risk of re-injuring like something else would have been great. I just don't think I don't think he has any value at this point.
That's crazy. Well, it's not crazy because I looked at, and when you word it that way, that sound like if you're gonna try, and that's probably why a lot of people say you're not moving DeJounte this season. But a lot of people say that you would have to sell to trade DeJounte. So if anybody, like, you'd have to add assets to get off of the DeJounte deal to a degree. Is it that bad a value?
I guess it depends on when he comes back and how he looks when he returns, if he comes back. I think there's always bad contracts in the NBA that you can take on in exchange, and maybe you try to recoup a person's value. The years left on his contract make it like incredibly difficult to move. And I don't think he was like a highly sought after player prior to that anyway. You know, he's kind of like middle of the pack type player before that. Going into this off season, I'm trying to think what you can realistically
get for him or what you can do.
Because the Pelicans, you don't have a ton of mid-level salary to attach to them. And what bad contracts are there out there that you will be willing to take on in exchange? Because I would imagine you taking on more money. They got some guys who make less money. Like if you want to take on like Kyle Kuzma's contract or something like that. But you know, what's the other guy? Jared Vanderbilt.
Yeah, you gotta think really out. You gotta think really out the box with those.
Yeah, you gotta think about using them as a negative asset. The reason I think his situation is so different than Zion is, I think if you added something positive to Zion, you can go buy something good or something like cool. Yeah, I think like a Herb Jones, and I think like Herb and Zion could go probably get you Lowry or something like that. Whereas
you think you would need, well, from a, you know what,
the way Lowry playing this year in the money situation, yeah, you would need you're gonna have to add something, and you would probably have to add some picks to that too. But I think for right now with DeJounte, I don't think there's anything you can really add to that contract to go and get something positive back.
So okay, let's kind of go into this, because this was my opinion too, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the trade. We'll go into it. So the best trade candidates, in my opinion, are Kings, Nets, Jazz, Spurs, maybe, and the Hornets. I like that list. And realistically, when I was looking through a lot of the teams, I kind of kept coming back to similar teams, but the problem was, like we said before, whoa, what's good? Appreciate y'all.
I'm interested in why you say Spurs. What up, Jess? What up, Lee?
Whoa, what's good?
What up, Joe?
Do y'all think Queen and Murphy can be the next great duo? Oof. I don't know about great duo. I think there could be a quality duo so far. I don't know about great just yet. I need to see more inconsistency and stuff. I don't know about great. Great is, oh, what's good? Whoa. Yeah, great is people. I think people get ahead of themselves sometimes, and I really like what I see from Queen and Fierce and stuff like that. But like, I don't think people understand like what it is when somebody is truly great, right? Like, and I don't necessarily mean like Steph Curry great, because that's all time greatness, right? Like Bron great, all time greatness. But like Tatum is great. You know what I mean? Like Tatum and Brown is a great duo. So when somebody was like, can they be the next great duo? And I know that's two different types of players, but like Tatum and Brown, since they've been together, have been to like multiple Eastern Conference finals, like constantly in the like. So when I think of like a great duo, I think of a team that can like constantly make the playoffs at least, and like every season you talking about them winning at least 2 playoff series, something like that, right? Do you see that as a ceiling for like specifically Queen and Trey, right?
I think Derek Queen is just going to be a cool offensive player, though. Like and this is me just like being 100. I think, and shout out to Jaden, because I'm not saying Jaden is saying this. I think some of the Derek Queen praise, just some of it, has to do with people just being sick of Zion. But because, like, truthfully, when I watched the last game, and this is just his first year, Derek Queen got benched. Right. And Derek Queen is probably averaging maybe 1 good game out of every 4 or 5. And some of that is usage. Some of that's how he's being used. And some of that is matchups, right? I think Derek Queen at the 5 is always going to be an issue. I think the sooner you put him at the 4, the better off he'll be. But I think 2 players, Trey and Queen, who are as defensively, I don't say inept, but poor defensively, as they are, I don't think they would ever be a top duo like whatsoever. I think just like I don't think Darren Fox and Wemby can be a good duo because who Fox is. I think offensively they could be, but I think as a defensive duo, I don't think they'll ever be in the upper echelon.
I think, like you say, in order to be one of the great duos, like I said, Tatum and Brown is a great duo. You got to do it on both sides, or you have to be.
You got to be Murray and Jokic.
Yeah,
like, you got to be so phenomenal.
Yeah, you got to be so
Yeah.
spectacular to where like, and even them, they still had to have other offensive pieces. Like they still had to have, because you got to remember, like, before they got Aaron Gordon and KCP and Michael Porter Jr. was finally, no, they was just a first round, second round, not lottery team, but you know what I mean? Like they had, and this when Jokic was looking like Jokic and Murray was still, you know what I mean? Was still not still
like
elite, but you
know
what I
healthy,
mean?
Kind of more or less.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll go through a couple of these. With the Spurs, you have a lot of young players making decent money that can play alongside. Yeah, but what do the Spurs want from here?
I imagine you talking about Herb.
Herb.
See, the Herb thing so fucked up. My bad for cursing.
You good?
The Herb thing so weird is because it's like he don't make enough money right now, and then he goes to making too much money. So, like, even when you try, and the Pelicans not having a roster spot complicates things as well, because
yes, it does.
In this new CBA, it's like in this new CBA when you got teams that's hard cap or teams that's, you know, they might be trying to duck the tax, and you being the Pelicans, you got tax room, but you don't have too much tax room, and you got 15 players on your roster. It's kind of difficult to configure trades with her. And then you add in the January aspect. It's just so many like things. Like, for example, when he speaks about her, let's say her to San Antonio, just for example, right? Let's, in theory, I'm guessing I want back either Devin Vassell or I want back Keldon Johnson, not a very good player. But let's just say hypothetically, you want back Keldon Johnson or one of those guys, right?
Devin Vassell make 20-something million.
Right. So to make the money work, I gotta attach a bad contract to her, like let's say Jordan Hawkins, or I might have to attach several bad contracts because I gotta get this guy. I gotta make the salary work. I gotta avoid the tax, and I gotta keep in mind I don't have a roster spot. So it's just it's kind of difficult to pull off. One thing to keep in mind, and once we start going through the trades, we'll notice this: the Pelicans, in almost every scenario, when they sending out like a middle of the road salary, they're gonna have to send out multiple players because they don't have a salary spot. I mean, a roster spot.
A roster spot. Yep. So with that being said, man, what I want to do for everybody is, and I know y'all see Chaz, man, this dude's a master at the trade finder and the fans poll. So we're gonna go ahead and actively on scene on the pod. Just kind of, as y'all can see right now, we got And we could craft these trades however it is we want, and you'll see really how challenging and how difficult it is to create, like to really make this roster moving forward something like without just throwing things away. You know what I mean?
Right.
And again, you got to remember this team don't have no direction yet. Like right now, we still just trying to figure it out. We still trying to figure it out. Listen, I cannot wait to see the Lakers fan rage about her bricking threes. It's gonna be hilarious.
Oh,
listen. Now the one thing I'll say before we go into matter of fact, let's start there. Let's look at her to the Lakers. And see like what you realistically can expect, because the one thing the Lakers do have, and you mentioned it earlier, is Luka. Right? And Luka might make her, I don't want to say it'll make her look very different, but you kind of give benefit of the doubt to the great player, right?
Right.
And so maybe we could see a version of her that you didn't see when when he was here, and you can maximize him before he, however much time he has left to be a quality player. But what do you think?
I want to say this, and I really don't care how people take it, to be honest, dog. Because now I'm kind of like in my bag with this.
Mm-hmm.
When I see other players go places, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say shout out to Brandon Ingram. Brandon's like second in the league in minutes played right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Herb might go somewhere. He might go to the Lakers, and you may see what appears to be a better version of Herb. Because I mean, fuck, you can't get much worse than the last 2 seasons. So there's only one way to go. Dyson, you saw it couldn't get much worse. So you saw a better version of Dyson, or a more effective version in a different system, right?
Yes.
A large part of that is because those teams don't play that shit. Whereas in New Orleans, you're gonna see some point Herb. You're gonna see Herb shooting up, coming up curl, shooting off the dribble in transition, just wilding out. You're not really gonna see that in Los Angeles. You're not gonna see Dyson just not shooting whatsoever or getting DNPs in Atlanta. You're not gonna see Brandon just taking 3 weeks off for mystery injuries. You're just not gonna see that in those markets, because for one, those markets have some sort of expectation. Those markets have some quality coaches, and they got real winners in the building. Like, Quinn Snyder was a winner. You know what I'm saying? Luka
JJ's on your ass.
JJ on your ass. It's the fucking Lakers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Brian's still over there.
Yeah, Brian's still there. Certain expectations are gonna be met. So I only say that because, I know people, even with Zion, people like, well, they're going to go somewhere, they're going to shine. It's like, yeah, but at the same time, you can't worry about that, because they probably never was going to do it here, just because of the, of the organization you have. You just wasn't going to get that here. So you can't be too upset if someone goes somewhere else and they kind of meet a newer, higher expectation. That's just something to keep in mind. It's funny you mentioned the Lakers thing, because I actually had something I had proposed earlier today when the Michael Scotto quote had came out.
See, I think you had, what was it? You had Herb for...
It was Herb, Jordan Hawkins, and Jose to the Lakers, Rui Hachimura, Dalton Connect, and Adu Thero to the Pelicans. The Lakers 28 pick swap, the Lakers 2030 pick swap, the Lakers 2032 first, and the Lakers 2032 second.
So you had the Lakers
28 swap.
That's this one here.
Hold on, my bad.
Yes, that is.
Yeah.
So let's say the
I'll say other's choice. But it don't matter. It don't matter.
No, it's good. It's good. Yeah.
So then you got the 2030 swap. The 2032 first and the 2032 second.
Unprotected? You think you get that unprotected for her?
I think so. I mean, the reason I say that is because they not actually giving you real picks because they giving you swaps. Like Liam saying, they don't really have no draft capital necessarily. So for them to do a 2-team trade, they kind of got to overpay because they don't have any real draft capital. That's why if they're giving you a swap, you might not even end up using the swap. But this is what you really getting out of this deal. If you zoom out, like you got a guy like Thero, who I hope I ain't mispronounced his name, who he fits more of the physical archetype that the Pelicans need to start building.
Like the wings?
Like larger, stronger, athletic wings, right? You got a guy like Dalton Connect, who's like a scratch off, basically. Rui Hachimura, that's 18 million expiring right there. So you kind of get yourself out of what could potentially be a bad contract with Herb Jones and Jordan Hawkins. And we don't know that, like, realistically,
Dalton Connect's not good.
Dalton Connect. Well,
no, I'm saying, do
I think he's good? Well, see, Dalton Connect is like, he could be good, he could not, or he could be solid, he could not. But Dalton Connect is kind of irrelevant in this scenario. The reason I say that is because you got Jose Alvarado. Jose's next year is a player option. He could opt out, or he could opt in. Now you're on the hook for, you either lose him for nothing, or you're on the hook for another $4.5 million.
That's very
Jordan
true.
Hawkins' money jumps up to $7 million next year. So let's say Jose stays and Hawkins stays. So that's about what? Close to 11 million. That's, 11, $12 million for Jose and Hawkins. You don't want that. And you add Herb to the equation. Let's say Herb money go up to about 15 million. That's what, 26 million, almost 27 million for Jose, Herb, and Hawkins. Meanwhile, you can walk away with just about 5 million with Dalton and Adu. You ain't really lose nothing aside from Hawkins and Jose. No disrespect to Herb. And I got 2 swaps just in case with Luka's injury history, Brian retiring, anything could happen. And hypothetically, you get the 2032 pick unprotected and the 2nd round pick. I think you get some salary cap. What's that in which your line? I think you get some salary cap relief. I think you get some roster construction relief, and you getting picks. You got things you can leverage. Like,
I think, and that's the part that I think is the biggest thing of it. Like you said, you get the salary cap relief, but again, if you look at all of those picks, Joe Dumars has shown he can draft.
Joe Dumars, or at least Troy Weaver has.
Troy Weaver, I'm sorry, Troy Weaver. That's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Right.
Troy Weaver has shown he's done really well at drafting to the point, damn near, where you kind of want him to have as many shots at it. You know what I mean? Or in the way they like to operate, right? That 2028 first might become a 2027 first. The way they like to package picks and move up and stuff like that. You're not saying it's going to be the greatest thing, but like, as long as it's not your particular picks that you're trading, like, everything could be on the table.
And so much of this is luck, bro. Like, for example, if God forbid, let's say Luka, who got a crazy injury history at this stage, let's say Luka got another hamstring injury and Luka got to miss a couple months. Or let's say you find yourself in a Bucks situation, right? You find yourself, like, I bet you wish you had that Bucks swap right now. But when they did that, when they did the trade, you like, man, this bullshit ass pick, this pick ain't gonna be worth nothing. Things go like, you never know how shit gonna work out. For example, the Pelicans ended up with the pick that ultimately got them Trey Murphy, if I'm not mistaken, and they ended up with the pick that got them Dyson Daniels from that Lakers pick.
The Lakers picks.
Yeah, so you really never know when you're dealing that far into the future. Like, you know what I'm saying? You just never know. I don't think Luka gonna get no, younger and faster by the time 2030, 2032 come out 7 years from now. Well, 6 years from now.
Austin Reeves might be going next season.
Yeah, Austin Reeves gonna want a big payday. You know what I'm saying? With the CBA, the Lakers are a glamour market, but the CBA is the CBA. You know what I'm saying? Then you don't know what's happening with LeBron. You got there's a lot of things that play into it. There's a lot of factors that play into it.
So the main thing, one of the other things I like about this trade, what I considered is that what the Pelicans have is about, when I added it all up, they have about $50 million in tradable pieces, right? That you could, so you, like, right now, you got DeJounte's 30. And it's not about how you get it, but you got DeJounte's 30, you got Herb's 13, you got Hawk, Jose, Missy's tradable, Sadiq is tradable, Looney's tradable. Like if you package all of those salaries, you have about 50 million, maybe a little bit more if I'm not mistaken. But
they got a lot of money in expiring salary.
Yeah, you got a lot of money that if you decided to just say, okay, the only people I'm gonna keep, right? And it's not even about necessarily keeping them, but you keeping, well, I don't want to say no, but like Queen, Fears, Trey likely are gonna be here. You don't have to move Z, and then again, you could just cut Z if you want.
Yeah.
Poole has another deal for next season, right? And then I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends on how, like PV, you probably not gonna move. Bryce McGowan's, it don't really matter what's going on.
He don't even got a real roster spot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bryce McGowan's don't even really matter. Carlo, like you like Carlo, so you probably want to keep him, but you could throw Carlo in as well, depending on what talent you get back. So if you got about 50 million in salary, that's when I was kind of like, okay, maybe we could make like a deal that actually makes us or get you a piece like Laurie. So do you want to look at the Laurie deal?
Yeah, we can look at it.
Yeah, let's see here. Hold on. Adjust trade.
The Jazz in a very interesting spot.
The Jazz are in an interesting position as well because again, they are in a rebuild. Right? Like
they do?
So and this is the thing. Where are the Jazz in the rankings right now? I think they like 10, like 11, something like that. Right. Hold on. Is this who can be traded or who should be traded? This is a combination of both, to be honest. I think, and again, this is only from our perspectives, or at least what we think. I think it's about who maybe should be traded and for and which reasons they should be traded, but also if you're targeting certain players and if you want to kind of have a vision for the team, some of the moves that they possibly could make to remake this roster a little bit. Let's see. Also, honestly, Chaz, this is a really good deal. I looked up DK's stuff. He's averaging 10 on like 15 minutes of play this year. Talk about Dalton Connect.
I think also, and again, I don't mean no disrespect to like Jordan Hawkins or nothing like that, or even Herb, but it's just that physical archetype the Pelicans got to move away from. Those skinny, not really like highly physical athletic guys. Yeah. It's just like if you look at homie Thilo and Dalton Connect just far as their builds, both are 6'6", 6'7", both got size on them. And they got more so transferable skill sets, whereas I don't really know what Jordan Hawkins good at this stage. Honestly, I only and there's no disrespect, but I don't know. And whereas Herb is like, if we talking about a 3-and-D type person, the 3 ain't really there, and the defense ain't really there this season either. So that's back-to-back seasons where neither one of these specialties have been there. And if you look at kind of what Kevin Durant said today, when you build teams,
just about to reference that. Yep.
Yeah, when you building teams and those teams are built around specialists, those specialists have to excel at those specialties, or they kind of become trash. Like
they get exposed. They get exposed.
You wouldn't sign or trade for Joe Harris today. You wouldn't do that. Duncan Robinson today. You wouldn't do that unless you had everything else in place. But like people talk about trade, like like trade, you got to do more than just stand there and shoot, or you got to shoot 50% from behind the arc. If you can't do that, then you ain't doing shit. To his credit, then he started developing. Now he's leading the team and rebounding, starting to score from more places on the court, kind of finding his rhythm, cutting to the basket, etc. But it's like, Marcus Smart. Once Andre Roberson, once you pay them dues and they not like living up to that standard no more.
Herb Jones,
like like that, that shit cool when it's 13 million. Once it goes to 20, man, that's a bad deal.
Think about this for a second. Boston, who loved Marcus Smart, right? They moved off Marcus Smart for Drew Holiday, who was a defender and an offensive player, more of a two-way, could pass the ball, and they wouldn't win the championship. Now, granted,
Tony
we're
Allen.
not at Tony Allen had the, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So you got to get away from this is all that I do, because as the league continues to grow, everybody is a two-way. All of the good teams at least are two-way players.
And shout out to the homie. I'm sorry I forgot your name, man. He hit me up on Twitter today when he was saying he would like a Mikal Bridges return for Herb. And I had to remind him, I was like, bro, Mikal Bridges was scoring 40 points.
And not only that, bro, Mikal was a lead defender, and even when he was with the Suns as a third, he still shot incredibly well from three, guarded the best player, and like was getting almost 20 a night.
Right. So that's why I'm like, it's kind of levels, like that's why but we go to the trade, my bad.
Yeah, respectfully, Herb averages 11, though. Like Herb has never averaged more than 11 points in a season. So like
he averaging 11 right now.
No, I think he's averaging like 9 or 10.
Huh?
Yeah, like 9 and 10. But I think like the year he shot 40%, it still was only 11. Do you try and play Carlo at the 5-move queen? Hold on. So we'll come back to these, Lynn. We'll come back to those. But, so the Jazz, right? So this is what brought me to like, because so I'm sitting there I think the team, because I do not think they're gonna go through like a full rebuild. I just don't think that's like no, it's not. And then like they historically have never done that. And going through a full rebuild means a complete pivot. That means moving, in my opinion, that means moving Zion, moving Poole, moving Sadiq Bey, moving Herb, like that, maybe even moving Trey. You know what I mean? Quite possibly. Like that's essentially selling everything off. You don't even know who the coach is right now. So I just don't really think that. And you can't even guarantee that whatever it is you bring back is gonna be as productive as those players, right? So I just don't think the Pels will go like blow it up, like full rebuild, blow it up. I just don't envision them doing that. So what's the most logical thing that they're gonna do? They're probably gonna see about finding, and maybe I hope what I hope they don't do. I hope they don't go the David Griffin route.
What's
right?
That?
The David Griffin route was kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Oh, trying to thread the needle.
Yeah, like make one move when you know it should be two, or you go get CJ and then you don't do another move equivalent to bringing in a player like CJ. Stuff like that. Like the one thing that they've done, Joe Dumars and Troy Weaver, they already were aggressive, right?
Yeah.
So I would look at a move for a player like, so what I ideally would like to see, and this is the part that makes it a little bit rough because Kessler is on a expiring.
Yeah. Well, he about to be restricted. Yep.
Yeah. So let's just say what would it take? What would it take? What are you moving to get those two right now? Like, because this is how I'm looking at it. Before we start moving Pelicans players, right?
Yeah.
You at 50 mil. Now the problem is gonna be, the rosters and stuff like that. But we'll like the roster spots, but we can worry about that in a second. But again, Laurie is making, I think Laurie just signed a 5-year deal right around 45 or something like that consistently a year. But Laurie also is a 7-foot, what I mean? 7-foot shooting.
Like, dude built like Ivan Drago, dog. Dude, that's a huge player, bro. I watched him the other night versus the Mavericks. Like, dog, this dude gotta be like about 260.
The dude really a beast, right? Yeah. So imagine you talking about, and he plays like Franz to a degree, like you know what I mean, like
and he don't need the dribble.
No, so if you could add a player like Laurie, right, when you in a talent acquisition mode, right? What off top of your head, what do you think you need to give up to get Laurie? And the reason I picked the Jazz because I think the Jazz are in a kind of in the same position as we are. if you think about it, except Laurie signed a little bit long term. But other than Laurie, all of their players are like Ace is young, Keontae is
Yeah,
young,
Keontae's pretty good. Yeah.
Collier's young. What's the Filipowski's young? Kessler's technically young. Like literally Walter Clayton, like the rest of the roster is they don't fit the and unless you just
timeline.
no, they don't fit the what's his name, man? The Laurie timeline.
You know, I think that the Jazz situation is so unique. I think the Jazz remind me a lot of OKC from the standpoint of they always get to a point where they have to pull the plug on the season. Ironically, OKC owns their pick this year. It's top 8 protected, so they're gonna have to start tanking at some point too. Man,
yeah, exactly.
I think the only way they move Lowry is if they are blown away by a deal. And I think at this stage, you starting with Zion and Herb. That's where you're starting, right?
I agree.
And you might really be starting with Zion and Trey, but you starting with Zion and Herb, right?
I think you definitely starting there. So that puts you at. So that's salary wise. You meet the salary technically.
All right. So throw about 3 first in there.
Who's first? Or do it matter?
The Pelicans.
It's got to be.
You know what? You might. Yeah. You got to throw about 3 first in there from the Pelicans.
You think
I wouldn't do this deal. The reason I say that is because Lowry, for all of his shortcomings, he's always available. And he's like a super modern type of player, whereas Herb Jones has missed a lot of games the past 2 seasons. Zion always misses games. And, you know, ultimately, if I'm Utah, what's really in this deal for me? Because Herb 27, he'll be 29 when his new contract kicks in. Zion is 25? So he don't really fit the timeline either. Yeah, and if I'm Utah, I don't, even though I can waive Zion, I don't really need the cap space because I'm Utah. So I ain't gonna sign nobody. So
they just continue to stay. So how I look at this from Utah, right? Let's before you add other picks and stuff like that, let's just leave it right here. Let's say it's Z, Herb, and 2 first, right? Let's say you make that deal. They could always reroute Herb for
more assets.
For more assets. And you know how Danny Ainge is about picks. And now you're really on the young team's timeline. Right. Now, I don't know necessarily about picks you'd have to give up, but if you turn Z into a 5-year of Laurie and you turn Herb into a re-signed, I think you can re-sign. Well, I don't know how much Kessler's gonna get on the open market right now.
20. I don't think he's gonna get it though.
I don't think he's gonna get it either. I mean, ain't nobody getting 20 right now. And he's restricted at the end of the day. Yeah. So let's say you turn Z and Herb into Lowry and Kessler to go with Queen, Trey, Fears. You know what I mean? Moving forward.
I ain't gonna lie to you. If I probably hang up if I was Utah, just because that's how low I think Zion's value is right now.
Oof, you think so?
Yeah, I think because, and also you look at Herb Jones, his value. I mean, yeah, they could probably move him to a contender, but they would have a limited market as well because his value is still only to contender type team, so that limits his trade market. So I think if Lowry having if Lowry had a year like he was having last year, I think it would be more possible. But
let's just keep that up for right now, just to keep an idea of what we're looking at.
Let's see. Hold on, let me look at it.
You probably have to add more picks. You absolutely have to add more picks, but I mean, I definitely don't think you like.
I wouldn't give him Trey.
No, I can't do Trey For sure. And this is my thing about Laurie. While Laurie is the Utah can feel however they feel about Laurie, and he is the asset. At some point, they're gonna have to make a decision as well on what it is they're doing, because again, they're repeatedly having the tank unless Ace Bailey takes a step. How old is Laurie?
Laurie probably 28, I think. 27.
I'm about to
let me see.
I think
27. He's been in the league for a while.
He's been in the league for a while too. If I go back and look, it should show me Laurie's age. I gotta get off.
Laurie is 28. Yep.
28 years old. So you talking about like this season is pretty much a wash. So you talking about trading away 29-year-old Laurie Markkinen for, you know what I mean? Whatever you think of Z. At some point when Laurie's 29, like his value the age starts to kick in, whatnot, as far as the Utah timeline. So regardless of it's to us, I think Utah's gonna have to make a decision on what they do with Laurie sooner than later. And then again, 5 years, Laurie, what, 4 years on that deal? You talking about a 31-year-old Laurie?
Yeah, his last year is at 31. See, the only thing with Laurie, I think Laurie, his game appreciates because he does a big stretch 4, stretch 5. Whereas if he was like Vucevic or some shit, then it might not appreciate as much. I don't know. I think Laurie contract, not the contract, but I think Laurie the player is always going to be valuable to a contender. Even at that age, at 31, he's still going to be able to shoot. He's still going to be a 7-footer. Whereas Zion, even if Zion was healthy, his style of play at a certain point just not going to be palatable no more. And I think Herb's style of play offensively is already not palatable. So
we have to cut Utah.
I just can't see a world. I can't see a world when Utah does it. I would like. I think in the off season, this past off season, like before Zion. No, I mean last off season before Laurie had got that contract extension, you could have got.
You had the opportunity to pull the trigger on.
Yeah, and I don't know if they called or not, but that should have been their all-in move, in my opinion.
I agree. So for right now, we can wrap up the ideas of Laurie.
Let me ask you something. Let me before we pass. If you're Utah, do you do that deal?
So this is how I am, and I'm thinking about this from like I probably, if I'm Utah, I probably want more picks,
right?
But I'm looking at Laurie in a sense, kind of how I look at some of the other players, and it's like, what is Laurie doing for me right now, other than just having him on the roster? Like, if I could get a king, like when Golden State don't really have no real assets to offer. Similarly to but Golden State's picks, which they don't have many picks, I don't think at this point, but Golden State's picks are different than Pelicans picks.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So like, if I'm Utah, I know we're not about to contend in the West. If I could get the cap space, multiple Pelicans picks, and then be able to like redirect and get more picks, which is what Danny Ainge likes to do anyway. I'm not saying I do it, but I'm probably gonna consider it because what you doing in Utah?
Let me ask you something, because I just thought about this, right?
You
think we dealing with the same Danny Ainge? And I only say that because I see I see that all the time, like online.
I do not think so.
Because I'm like, I'm sure people that offered like 2 firsts for Walker.
Bruh, I think Danny losing his I think Danny losing the fastball, bro. He didn't let
what's the last deal he really did? Like
he got the Rudy Gobert deal.
Yeah, and that's about what 4 or 5 years ago at this point. He got nothing for Colin Sexton. No, got nothing for Collins.
Nothing for Clarkson.
Didn't get the deal done for Walker Kessler.
No,
before the injury.
No,
he ain't really done shit.
Exactly my point. Exactly my point. So while we giving Danny Ainge the benefit of the doubt for what he did in Boston many years ago.
Yeah, that's a long
right?
time. Man.
And think about this. The deal that they actually given Danny Ainge credit for was 2 deals. The KG deal, right? Getting KG and Ray Allen, that deal, and then the Brooklyn deal.
Yeah.
The Brooklyn deal, right? So other than that, like, and then getting off of Rudy Gobert. But again, that was him doing the same thing that I'm talking about him doing right now, except you only got one player that people care about, and it's Laurie.
And I think too with the Pelicans, I need to know what's the goal.
That's
because if my goal is I'm trying to compete, that changes the dynamics of things. If my goal is I'm taking 2 steps back to take 4 forward, that changes the dynamic of things as well. But it's just interesting. It's interesting.
That is where I'm torn. Like, so when I was trying to like craft deals, right? It's hard to determine because, for example, let's get off of Laurie right now in Utah. But the idea is nice, right? So let's say you decide to go. Let's say they decide who, like, let's go to your favorite terms, right? Distressed assets.
Right.
What team has distressed assets?
Kuminga is the most distressed asset in the NBA right now. Jonathan Kuminga is the most distressed asset in the NBA, probably by far.
Do you think? So here's the thing: you've been seeing a lot of Golden State deals with Golden State players coming back, and it's not even Jonathan Kuminga. Do you think Jonathan, like, if they traded for Jonathan Kuminga, let's say it's her for Jonathan Kuminga, which is you can't even do, you got to give up more because Kuminga makes. Okay, let's roll. Let's say Kuminga. I don't even know where you want to send him, but
you know what? We can do one for one. Let's start with this one. Then we'll expand. Okay. Let's say in the scenario Kuminga goes to the Pelicans, right? You sending out Herb.
They gotta have Herb.
Have Herb, right? And let's say you sending out Jordan, Hawkins, or Looney, right? Let's say you sending out Hawkins and Jose.
So let's say Jose and
Herb, Jose and Hawkins. Because let's just say Looney like too disgruntled to go back.
Okay.
Right. So the Pelicans, they still got to take back at least one more player in that deal. I would imagine just for cap reasons. Let's say you taking back Melton, just hypothetically, right? Melton or Quentin Post, one of those two. Melton or Quentin.
Give me Post. I don't know if you think they
probably wouldn't. They probably wouldn't do it. I'm just saying hypothetically, just to make the numbers work.
Let's just throw it in there and say Quentin Post.
Yeah,
you might have not to get off of Kuminga. You might have to give up Post.
Maybe if you're not giving up, but see, here's the thing: they don't have to trade Kuminga because Kuminga they got a team option next year.
That's true.
But the only thing is, can you make the playoffs without getting reinforcements in the way y'all looking right now? Now that's the thing. It's like, how hard is you about to go sacrificing future assets for Steph's last year?
I to be honest, I think they go all in. Like
if they go all in, the Post got to be an option if they going all in for real.
So let's
I think it'll be Melton though. I don't think it'll be Post. I think it'll be Melton.
Oh, so let's do that. Let's say it is where is he? Let's say it is Melton. Let me ask you this. Shout out to Ivory. Golden State, because of the style they play and stuff like that, are in need of a center. How do you think they'd feel about Missy? And would you even want to do?
I wouldn't trade Missy to them, but I don't think that's their style of center either, though. I think Missy too much of a liability defensively at this stage.
Defensively, shit, maybe offensively as well.
Yeah, maybe offensively too. They like really like run and dunk bigs who kind of like a little more quick twitch. I think they'd be more excited about Carlo.
Would you be willing
to do that? Because
You
I
said
don't
you
value
would.
Kuminga. That I wouldn't. Because I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already giving up too much in this trade, in my opinion, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't value. I don't value Kuminga that high. Like
Let me
in the
ask you
off
this:
season, I would have did it.
if it was pies that they added into this, would you feel
Mm.
differently about it?
To add Misi,
No, no, no. Let's just say it was. Let's say they were willing, because I don't think you look at Kuminga as a positive asset. I think I think
yeah.
they'd be willing to just not give, but essentially like to get a player that they're going to play and use. They'd be willing to throw, like, essentially the trade is probably like Herb and Jose more so. Like they would probably look at it like getting Herb
Some
for Pie.
real, yeah, some real guys. You know what? I would do this deal, even if it was Pies or Moody makes too much money, but I would do this deal if it was Pies, right? I would do it even the first iteration of the deal. Now here's the issue, though. Here's the issue. The Pelican, like, if you're the Pelicans, again, the Pelicans got 1.9 million in tax space, right? So right there, you setting out what, close to 21 and taking back 25. So that's another reason why you probably would have to add something else if you're the Pelicans, or you would have to expand the trade
to a third team.
Yeah, for a third team. That's kind of why I had the third team iteration set up. Now, you the Pelicans, I think at some point you probably could just cut DeAndre Jordan. There's something you're gonna have to cut somebody at some point.
I mean, you could. Who's really not useful? Not useful, but
I know what you're saying. Like, don't ideally you sending them just Looney and Herb, right? But I just think the situation with Looney was so toxic. I don't think they would do that no more.
You don't think they would do it and just set him free?
Just waive him?
To get Herb, to be honest.
Maybe. I mean, it's possible. I mean, you bringing back one of your leaders.
I think they trying to do anything they can to give Steph. Think about what
you
they did.
You still would have to, in this situation, you probably have to take Pies out, or you would have to add Hawkins in. In that scenario, so the Pelicans could avoid the tax. Just so the Pelicans could avoid the tax in that situation. I think the most
they might look at. You think they look at Hawkins as a valuable asset for them?
I don't think they care, to be honest. No. He can't be no worse than Pies right now, because Pies not really balling. I think if their goal is to get Herb Jones, then and Kuminga, because Kuminga not playing at all. He ain't even playing bad. He just not playing, period.
Exactly.
And you almost want to send his ass home because he on the bench.
And that's why I'm like, you realistically, and I don't even know how we would value Kuminga or how because essentially he'd be a bench player here, I think.
It comes down to how much they value Pods and how bad the relationship is with Looney. Honestly, I don't think Kuminga is a real option no more.
I kind of was gonna lean to that.
Yeah, I like the three team deal I had. I thought Kuminga was he's more of an option now than he was in the offseason. But I think Kuminga to Chicago or to New York, bless you, to like Brooklyn works more. The three team deal I had set up was the Bulls, Pelicans, and Warriors, right?
Okay, hold on. What's Chicago? All right.
Now, I would have Kuminga and maybe Post or Pods going to Chicago.
So let's say
Post, just hypothetically, right? Just to make the money work.
All right, let's say Kuminga and Post to Chicago.
I have Moses Moody and Jalen Smith to New Orleans.
I did see this one. I like this one.
With the Warriors.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
Oh, good.
No, Moses to where was Moses going?
To New Orleans.
Okay.
Jalen Smith going to New Orleans.
And for people that don't know Jalen Smith is the 6'10" shooting center.
Yeah, and he went to play for University of Maryland. And that's why it makes a lot of sense.
That do make sense now. All right.
The top 10 protected Warriors pick for this year
Who are the Pelicans moving? Herb
Oh
to
yeah,
Golden.
Herb to the Warriors, Patrick Williams to the Warriors from Chicago, and Jordan Hawkins to the Warriors.
Okay, so you got Hawk to the Warriors, you got Herb to the Warriors, and then
Patrick
Pat
Williams.
Williams to the Warriors. Okay.
Because
And
at
then
this
you said
point, Patrick Williams and Kaminga, they kind of like
they're
both
the
in the
same
same
person.
situation. Yeah,
Yeah,
at this point.
they're the same person essentially. And you said Chicago picks?
I got Chicago's it's like they got to swap the swap rights. No, not swap right. Their 26 pick to the Pelicans, and that's just for getting off of Patrick Williams and helping you get Kaminga. And that pick is via Portland. So it's really Portland's pick.
And you get Herb.
Yeah, and you get Herb going to the
I'm saying I'm saying like the war. So the Bulls are sending the first to get off of Patrick Williams. Golden State can't ask for it because you getting Herb Jones in the deal, and technically both of y'all getting off players y'all really don't want.
Yeah, and you getting Patrick Williams, who he plays. He's Kaminga, but he plays.
I mean, I think he can help Golden State a little bit. I mean, they need all the help they can get.
He can help more than Kaminga.
Yeah. So they had that first. What else?
And the 28 second round pick from Chicago.
The 28 second to the Pels.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, that would be it.
All right, let's see. So you would end up with.
Oh, my bad. In the Warriors, their top 10 protected pick. They have a top 10 protected pick that I will send to the Pelicans.
For this year?
To me, this is 26 pick, make it top 10 protected probably. To me, this is a great deal for everybody, honestly.
Like
there's really no loser in this deal.
No, I do this deal. I do this. Because Moses Moody brings you some shooting. Jalen Smith brings you some shooting and size, regardless of if you feel that they can actually shoot or not. And you come out with not saying that Golden State can't bottom out, but like I don't expect Golden State's pick to be top 10. You know what I mean? Not this season.
It would take something crazy to happen, right?
Yeah, like not again possible, but
yeah, it's possible, but yeah.
But you would leave this deal only giving up Herb Jones and Hawkins, right? And then you would take back Moses Moody and Jalen Smith, who do give you some time if you know what I mean? Like you have contracts and salary for a little bit, but you get back into this draft with 2 picks. You know what I mean? Which everybody's saying is one of the greatest drafts, right? The quote unquote one of the greatest.
Yeah, you can repackage and move up. There's a lot of things.
And that was the thought. If you got back in this, I would do this move simply because you move off Herb, you bring a little bit, you bring cheaper. I don't think Moses can do what Herb does necessarily, but I think Moses could be like in the Pelicans lineup, could give you some quality shooting or at least some spacing.
And
he'll piss Trey Murphy off.
I think too, you add in more mid-tier salary in Moses Moody. The contract is shorter than Herb Jones's contract. And to your point, it's like at this stage, what does Herb really do? Yeah. like that's the tough part, because you got real arguments that's like, we might just close with Bryce McGowan's versus Herb, or we might just close with Sadiq Bey versus Herb. That's not an argument you should be having at all for a motherfucker you just gave $20 million a year to. So
that's very true. And I think it gives you some roster flexibility.
And for the Bulls looking at people that can attack the rim, they way too reliant on the 3-point shooting. Patrick Williams had a terrible contract. You get to evaluate Kaminga for a year, see what you want to do with that. Quentin Post quality front court player. It's to me, this deal is just totally fair for everyone.
Yeah,
that's probably why it wouldn't happen, because it's fair.
I was about to say it absolutely wouldn't
fair
work
for everyone, right?
It's too balanced. It's too balanced. Now, let me ask you this, because I was looking at, and again, I know how you feel about DeJounte because we talked about DeJounte, right? But some people say DeJounte had never played for the Pelicans again, right? So I was thinking about teams So shout out to you for this one though. First off, I think this is a great deal. If this was to happen, honestly, I think you would
be
look
over the
at
moon.
Bruh, if they pulled off this type of deal, I think you really, not that you wouldn't have to move any other player, but you could really like change the way you're looking at the team moving forward.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it'll really change your value. Like you'll be like, oh shit, we got a little bit more quality depth. You know what I mean? We got some
shooting,
got some shooting, we got some picks.
It's like with Hawkins, it's like Hawkins not playing at all. Like Hawkins and Kuminga, those guys just ain't playing, period. And so something better than nothing, as long as it's not bad salary in those situations.
Yeah, and just to have the 6'10 spacer, you know what I mean? It's just is like it just having them out there. You need as much tall shooting as you can get. So
him being a Maryland product don't hurt neither.
Absolutely. So doing this deal would be phenomenal. Let's go. So I was thinking about DeJounte, right?
Okay.
So what kind of team could use a DeJounte Murray? Right. And this is assuming that he's available, because according to DeJounte, he's playing this season, right? So let's just assume he does come back in January and looks like let's say 80% of himself. That's a stretch, right? But 80% of himself. What's a team in the league right now that desperately would need a point guard?
Yeah, Minnesota needs a point guard. I think for DeJounte,
championship aspirations.
Yeah, it would be a bad team with cap space who want to take on like a pick for you to move him, or it would be a good team with some bad contracts to send out.
It's gonna be that team that we getting ready to play tomorrow.
So who we play tomorrow? I don't even know.
Houston.
Oh, we play Houston. Okay. Now I don't think Houston would do it.
No, I don't. But so here's my theory. Let me give you the theory.
Okay, right? Run it down to me.
So DeJounte, let's assume DeJounte again 80% of himself, right?
Okay.
Which is a stretch. You seen what the Rockets look like with no point guard. And while they're really, really good, I don't think they're winning the championship. Like the value of the tall ball and whatnot that they've been doing, I don't think they're going to be able to win in I don't think they're going to be able to win in the playoffs with that style. Like I just don't think they'll be able to beat OKC with it. I don't think they'll be able to beat Denver like that. Like I just think the game's too close. You know what I mean? So I think that to start off with. Secondly, what does the Fred VanVleet injury do for you? Like Fred is gone for the season. I'm sure you think Fred coming back?
No, I think he gone. I'm just surprised you said Fred. Go ahead.
Oh no. And it's only because when I'm looking through the Rockets lineup, like they don't have they're kind of top heavy salary wise, right?
Right.
And then like they not so realistically, you just need people to make the salary work. I'm looking at this deal specifically for one player, right? So let's say you take Fred, but the only person I really want to try and get out of this is Tari.
Okay.
Because you talking about it's 30 and 30. DeJounte will be back this season as opposed to Fred being gone for the entire season.
And he got a player option.
And he got the player option. So if you look at it from the Rockets standpoint, like maybe they don't even need 100% DeJounte right now.
Just need somebody.
We just need somebody, a vet with some experience, because they just signed KD. No, every year
Jose would make a lot of sense for them too. Well, go ahead.
Jose could make a lot of sense for them.
Yeah.
So I mean, a player like Jose would make a lot of sense for them. You just need somebody to be solid for them to run the point, because they just need one. So you would get off VanVleet's contract, right? And for the Pelicans, it makes sense because he not staying here. He can opt out or you could redirect them or figure out whatever the hell you're gonna do with Fred. But essentially, you get Tari. And I think if you re-sign Tari Eason, that fits more so the kind of players that Dumars wants to go. I think that's a significantly cheaper.
What's Fred's injury? ACL, right?
Yes, but he's 31 too.
Shit, I ain't gonna lie. I would probably do this deal. I would do it because I'm looking at the length. I'm looking at the length of the contract, right? I'm looking at the money I'm saving. Fred, you want opt out? Go ahead. If you want to stay in, go ahead. You become a 25 million expiring. Because with this deal, what I like so much about what you put together with this deal is about the years. For us with DeJounte and Fred, it's the years. That makes a huge difference. With Tyree, Tyree gonna want a new contract, but he kind of shot himself in the foot this year with the injury. Yep. But he's also the type of he would be like the Herb Jones type player, like replacement type player you would need. From the standpoint of he can rebound, he can defend when he's healthy. He probably not getting a lot of money based on what has happened, you know. And if you send it out Herb Jones, a deal like this is kind of something you want to take back because you need more. It's like with Herb, you need more players like that from the standpoint of you need like a bigger, stronger versions of Herb. Like you need like guys with
somebody who can be physically imposing.
Yeah, that's just where we at in the league right now. You know, Luka, a nice guy. You know, Luka like, man, Herb is one of my toughest defenders. Luka be scoring like 30-something fucking points. It's like, you make it tough, but I'm scoring 30-something points. Like just being realistic, Devin Booker be scoring like 70
50.
Points.
Yeah, 50.
Like at the drop of a dime easily. So when we're dealing with the reality of the situation here, you got to get more physical, got to get guys like Luke Dort, like Tyree Eason that can knock people off their spot. Even go back to last game, bro. Look at how Isaac Okoro was guarding Derrick Queen on a couple of possessions last game. Queen couldn't do nothing. And this like a short, stocky, like monster. Like Queen couldn't do nothing with him. The Pelicans need more physically imposing guys like that. I would do this deal if it was me. Leadership, championship experience, money looking right. Let's do it.
And then you would have not saying that DeJounte is not around, but again, you don't have Fred coming in is not about to play minutes to take away minutes.
Yeah, he's not even gonna play.
He's not even gonna play. And then you have DeJounte, DeJounte, is he 30 now or he's about to be 30?
Yeah,
I think he's about to be 30. I'm sure DeJounte, like, if you're not gonna be here, right? You know who would be jumping for this deal? Rich Paul.
Oh yeah, Rich Paul will be happy as hell because, like, I think one of the things people kind of forget when we did the breakdown of DeJounte's comments, DeJounte was looking to get traded.
Exactly.
He didn't want to like stick around because it was respectfully, it was a shit show. He wasn't having a good year. He had already dealt with 2 injuries. He was ready to go. And if you Houston, DeJounte be 20, he'll be 30 years old next year. And then he got a player option for $30 million. And he about his cap goes from 30 to 32 back down to 30. So I don't think it's a bad deal for Houston. I actually think this is a very good deal you put together. I really like it.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man, that's an excellent deal.
Like I said, I just think it gives Houston, like, people like, why would you do it? If I think about Houston's culture, like what Ime's trying to do over there, DeJounte, a no-nonsense guy. You want somebody like DeJounte that, with the leadership, versatile, when healthy. You know what I mean? A guy that's supposed to steady the troops, get people in order. And he really doesn't have to do much because, so even coming off the injury, bro, you ain't got to overdo it. I got Sengun and all of these other people. We really just need, 15 minutes? Max, 20 minutes, maybe? Something like that. Take your time and come back. Like, and if we need anything more than that by the end of the season, when you think you're ready, because we plan on playing into, you know what I mean? They plan on playing into May, hopefully June, right? You might be looking at a different version of DeJounte than what you're going to get in January.
And like you say, you really only need spot minutes because you just know Reed Shepard is not a point guard.
Yes.
Shout out to Reed. And Amen Thompson is not a point guard.
No.
And the downside, and DeJounte, he wants to pass the ball. All he wants to do is pass the ball. You got a guy with some Achilles experience in Kevin Durant right? You can, if you the Rockets, you can even look at this as pre-agency. Like, we're gonna get them early. We're gonna, we got
have them
crazy. Like the perimeter defense, the wingspan on that perimeter will be insane for that particular team.
Oh my God, bro. Jabari, DeJounte,
KD,
Sengun, and bro.
Adams
Steven Adams at the rim.
I love this deal. I would do it. I would do it. I do it today.
And as the Pelicans, at the end of the day, if DeJounte is not what you want, right? You already drafted your guard for the future. You trying to figure out what you're doing with Poole. Poole might need minutes. Do you want DeJounte taking minutes from you just seeing what you have?
And the thing is, you don't want a malcontent situation. Like, again,
I can't get what I need.
DeJounte might be ahead of schedule, but he ain't that motherfucking much ahead of schedule, because where is he? And you got to know Rich Paul probably telling him, yo, nah, you don't want to rush back for this team. Like, this,
they 5-22, bro.
Yeah, they 5-22. Ain't nothing popping. Take your time. We'll see you in February.
And last thing about this before we move on, you know who be happy as hell out of all of these people for this deal? Tari, because I'm pretty sure he would come here and be like, I definitely could get me a roll up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you saw what I was dealing with in Houston. Like, bro, I'd be a starter on this team. Like, I figure something out.
Right. Like, with just his archetype as far as wing defender, he can shoot a little bit. He can rebound like a dog. He just never stay healthy. He fit right in, actually. But if you're the Pelicans, I think people just presume that Micah Peavy going to inherit that role, or Bryce McGowan's going to inherit that role. Nothing promised. You need talent.
As much of it as possible, because you know how you brought in Bryce McGowan's? Like, and Peavy was playing okay, but you know why Peavy not playing? Because he can't score.
Yeah, he can't score right now.
He can't score. Bryce giving you 20-something, so that dude's going to play.
And it's not a knock against Queen, because I fucks with Derek Queen. Fucks with him. And he's just a rookie. But you know why Derek Queen keep getting benched in the fort? Because he can't defend. He can't really defend that well right now. You know why? And this, to me, this is a knock on Borrego. Because I don't play the politics shit, dog. Like, Borrego, people like, oh, that adjustment to play Carlo in the fort was great. Carlo should have been playing the entire game.
Yes.
What's the fuck? Like,
I said, why are we waiting to the fourth quarter to give Carlo
that wasn't a real adjustment. That means it just took you to the fourth quarter to make the right decision. It took you to the fourth quarter to adjust. So, I don't know, man. But I like this trade. I definitely like this trade.
Cool. So,
let me ask you one. How you feel about Jared Allen in Cleveland? Because I had something with her going to Cleveland, because Cleveland need help. Cleveland down to the Bulls right now.
Let's look it up. Are you serious?
Yes, down 14 to the Bulls right now in the third quarter.
Beat their ass.
Because they got Mobley hurt.
So let's start with that. To be honest, I don't care either way about Jared Allen, respectfully, because
I got you. I know.
Yeah,
but see, here's the deal, though. I'm sorry to cut you off. Here's the deal, though. It's like, it's not so much about Jared Allen. To me, Jared Allen is more of a stopgap, right? Because his contract gets a little crazy, but he just has less years than Herb at more of a position of need, and you could get some picks back. That's why I mentioned it. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
You think you could get picks back for this?
Oh, yeah. Jared Allen ain't even playing this year. Like,
wait, I think, why not? What is he hurt?
He got like a hand injury.
Oh, okay.
But you're talking about like back-to-back disappointing years with Jared Allen. Like 3 in a row at this point. Remember he said the lights was too bright?
Yeah.
Then the lights was too bright again. And now you hurt.
Man. And that's the biggest thing the biggest issue I have with Jared Allen, like, respectfully. And I mean, who am I? Because I don't play NBA basketball, but he kind of soft. Yeah. He kind of soft. So the issue that I have with Jared Allen, like, it depends on where we are in our process. Right? Because what does like, what does Jared Allen really do for our team? Like, would he be the best center on our team? Absolutely. Would he provide rim protection, run the floor, and all of that? One, he hasn't been healthy. Yeah. So for a team that's talking about the health and stuff like that, that would be a concern.
Right.
He's not really a spacer.
He makes a lot of money.
And he makes 20 million. So, like, am I getting rid of a problem for the same similar type?
Worse problem?
Right. Yeah, like a worse problem, right? Now, so for me, it would be, what am I willing to do that? Cool. But what the picks look like?
I would say, let's say it's Herb and Looney out, right?
So Herb
and Looney out.
Okay.
And Jared Allen,
2026
second round pick.
Okay.
2027 second round pick.
Okay.
2028 second round pick. And a 2031 first. Would you do that deal?
Hold on, let me look at it. So 3 seconds and a 2030 first. The 2030 first is somewhat appealing. Yeah. 2031 first because Garland will probably be gone. Mitchell will probably be gone. Yeah, like they'll probably be terrible. So the 2031 first, absolutely. And Jared Allen, regardless of whatever you say, he would be, like, he's still a quality player. You know what I mean?
So when healthy, he's an all-star caliber being.
Yeah.
The issue is he ain't gonna be healthy.
Exactly. So, and again, for me, it would be, what are we trying to achieve? Because
I think it'll allow you to move Queen to the 4 where he probably should be. You got a temporary running mate with him. It's only after this 3 years left on that deal. Let's say he returns to form, right? But the thing is, he don't stay at 20 million. That deal escalates and it goes up to damn near 30 something at a certain point.
I can't do it.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'll probably say no. I
think you'll end up with a player that, like, you can't move.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that one.
I think you end up with a player that you can't move, like, by next season. And then at least for as much as I feel like we should move Herb this season to, like, maximize, I think you'll still be able to move Herb next season if you absolutely need it to, or like by the off season or something like that.
Right.
Once you think his money kick in, Herb money only kick in the 20. If Jared Allen money kick in the 30, it'd be
30 at some point.
Yeah, that's a bit tough. But I would like to. Now, what I would be interested in is maybe if you could redirect Jared Allen, but I don't know where we could redirect Jared Allen to that would be useful. So we'd have to maybe take some time and look at that. But I wouldn't.
It would have to be like the Pistons or somewhere like that. I say that because Trajan Langdon drafted him. And like, I don't think the Trajan or Sean Moore. It might be somebody like the Pistons who got some love for him. But if you're the Pistons, it's like, do I need another center? You know what I'm saying? But what you had though? What other things you had?
Oh, hold on. Look, I got look, Ivory. Shout out Ivory for following the show.
Oh yeah, shout out Ivory.
Man. Look, he hit me up and was like, what if you redirect? Hold on, where's it? Add a third team. Allen to Golden State. It's like, what if you redirect Allen? Let me see. Where is he? Players. Allen to go. Now they could use a Jared Allen.
They need a real center. Yeah.
They could use a Jared Allen. So what are you pulling back? What are you pulling back for Jared Allen?
It would have to be Kuminga, right?
Kuminga.
And let's see. I keep the picks and I get Kuminga.
I ain't gonna lie, I think I do that.
I need something. I need something Golden State. I need a little
to take Kuminga. Kuminga.
I need, because I'm helping y'all out. I need a first something.
Let me see. Top 10.
I need a top 10 protected first.
Because y'all all in this season.
And I might let's see what's the salary cap space. because the Pelicans are 1.9 below the luxury tax, so they still got cap space, tax space. Oh yeah, boy, if I could do a deal like that, I'd make out like a thief in the night. Now,
Yeah.
would it be acceptable for everyone though? Could it look like the Cavaliers wouldn't be able to do that deal?
Because of the cap.
Yeah, can you scroll down?
Let's see, no,
Oh,
salary.
no, it looked like they'd be
It's the
straight.
Warriors salary increase.
increase?
Well, you got to. Well, no, you just got to wait.
Oh, to the
You
15th, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah,
just got to wait to do the deal.
Oh, yeah, I'd do
for
that
those two to be traded.
Oh, yeah, I'd do that easily. That's an easy call.
That's
I'm
actually
doing
not
that
bad
immediately.
because you look at the Warriors team. You talking about Draymond would have a new lob threat, right? Somebody who could defend the rim, run the flow. They really not giving up nothing but Kuminga and a pick for a quality, again, like you said, an all-star level center. Right.
And the thing with Kuminga, if it don't work, yeah, it's 1 year deal. Like you could cut him or reroute him to Chicago, get some more assets and salary, and you're good.
But if you turn if you could turn Herb Jones and Looney into Jonathan Kuminga in two first and 3 seconds.
Oh, you do that every day of the week. And not only that, if I had to move Kuminga and I could get some more seconds for him or protect it first, that's even more assets.
Nah, you can really retool this team. And again, you still not moving anything yet. You haven't even considered moving Poole. You haven't considered Trey. You haven't considered Herb. You haven't like really decided to
move any of your picks.
Yeah, none of your picks, none of your players, nothing like that. Let me ask you this. This is a long shot kind of idea, but this is one of the ideas that I did have. Also, I like this deal, to be honest.
Yeah, I like that deal a lot.
I think so far we came up with like maybe 3 or 4 deals that would be doable. The 3-way trade with the Bulls.
This is definitely one of them.
The DeJounte to Houston. This would be one. And honestly, this is a help all parties kind of deal.
This is one of my favorites right here.
Yeah,
that Ivy helped cook up.
Shout out to you, Ivory, dog. Appreciate it. I got 2 deals I kind of want to discuss, and we could kind of get ready to like close on this.
Okay.
So this is assuming you are like kind of trying to contend, but at the same time looking Jared Allen is playing tonight. Oh, look at him back. I guess he's back, huh?
Yeah, they get their ass kicked.
So the idea is, right, let's say you not trying to contend, but you in like talent acquisition mode, right? But you still want to steal something. You still want to kind of steal something if possible, and that's where it makes it a long shot. What's another team with distressed assets that's just like looking to move players? It's the West team,
right?
Sacramento, right? So let's go to Sacramento. Let's go to Sacramento. And I haven't thought about this with like a 3 team, but let's just say Sacramento's trying to get off. Who are they more trying to get off, Levine or Sabonis? What do you think?
I'm gonna say Levine.
So let's go Levine to the Pels. Now this is the thing with Levine. Levine got how many years Levine got left? I'm sorry, 2 years. Only 2 years left, right? So
now if he got 2, then he got 1 after this year, then right?
Yeah, this year and the next year.
Okay.
This year, next year. But again, you really not in a like having Zach LaVine hurt you at all? Like realistically, you need
not
another
really.
You need another wing player anyway. And if you're doing them a solid, right? Like please take Zach LaVine. So do you think they will be willing to do? Let me see. How did I word? How did I have this before? Hold on, I gotta pull it up. I can't remember if it was okay. It was so let's say DeJounte, which might be a no off jump, right? Because it's one bad for another bad.
It's Rich Paul for Rich Paul.
It's Rich Paul for Rich Paul, which why you might be able to make it work to a degree.
Right.
And then again, they probably could reroute. But DeJounte, you would get Herb.
Oh, I think go
You
ahead,
almost,
go ahead,
you
go
almost,
ahead.
so look,
Go
you would
ahead.
get DeJounte, Herb. Hold on, what is it? I think
I need
Jose.
Keon Ellis back in that deal.
So look, Jose, right? I think the money almost there. Yeah, so they got to give up more. And the one you pull back, where is he? Where is he? Maxine.
Oh, I think I would need Keon Ellis and versus Maxine just because they just drafted Maxine, and if he's supposed to be their guy of the future, that means the Monta's probably gonna be gone. But
he ain't yet.
Yeah, he ain't. Yeah, he's still there for now.
And what you giving me to get again? No, that's why I said this is the long shot. But
what up, Trey?
Whoa, what's good, bro? So again, what are you giving me? Because I ain't asking you for picks to take Levine.
Right.
I'm not asking you for picks to take Levine, and you get Herb Jones to go flip 47. Herb Jones into whatever you want necessarily. So before we move forward on that, what's your thoughts? Ideally, the only thing is I don't think they move Maxine.
I think I'm giving up too much.
You think so?
I think me moving Herb, because Levine always do this in my mind. Like Levine is a quality, high usage type player, like on a bad team, but that's just too much money. Like he on such a bad contract. If DeJounte was playing, his contract wouldn't be like awful, right? So I'm only attaching Herb for salary cap reasons. That's really the only reason I'm attaching Herb, because I ain't really got the money to attach nobody else. If I can send them Looney, if Looney want to go back to the Bay, if I can send them Looney and Jose or
I'm at the point, I'll tell you this. I'm at the point I'm only considering a deal with Sacramento to get Maxine. If that's possible.
I think the only way they would trade Maxine if they was building. I mean, as if they was trying to buying, if they were buying. And they not playing Keon Ellis right now. So I almost wonder if Herb would be redundant. So
you just don't see it happening. You don't see, you know.
Well, I ain't gonna say I don't see it happening, because Scott Perry and Joe got a good relationship. I'm just a little more like,
you giving up too much.
I'm giving up.
You think Herb got too much value?
I think Herb got way more value than Levine right now.
How do you compare Herb's value to Maxine's value?
I think Herb got more value. I don't think Maxine got no value. Like, I
don't think he got value, but I mean, like, what do you think of like him as like
upside
a player? Maxime, okay.
I think he's pretty good, pretty solid. He was someone I like coming out of the draft, but I don't think he's not like Kessler to me.
So like I'm my vision or my thought, and again, I love the pushback, because if y'all wouldn't do it in the chat, like tell me why you would or wouldn't do it in the chat. But because I see Jaden say I wouldn't do it, so I just want to know the reason as to why. Because my thought is you would get. Yeah, you get Levine for the right now, right? You get Levine for the right now, but Maxime's skill set fit the 5 that we need. And what I kind of want to do is get whatever 5 we need to develop with Queen over time, so they could build the relationship. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm not even looking at it like this deal wasn't necessarily about DeJounte, because DeJounte don't matter. We talk about moving Herb anyway. Levine don't really matter. So I guess it depends on what you feel about Maxime as a player, but I get where you're coming from as far as Herb as the asset. Like if I got 2 firsts and 3 seconds for moving Herb, 2 firsts, 3 seconds in Kuminga, for Herb Jones and Looney. Like,
well, let me ask you this. Would you trade 1-for-1 Herb for Renard right now? Like just 1-for-1. Would you do that deal?
I
Let's say,
probably
well, let's say
would.
the money was even, 1-for-1.
That's if the money even. I probably would, to be
You
honest.
probably do. Now, see,
I
now
would.
that's the thing. So
I
if you
would.
would, because let's say DeJounte and Zach are a wash, right? Let's
Yes.
just say they're a wash. The
Mhm.
real deal in this is Renard versus Herb and Jose. Now, to me, Herb represents 2 late first, and Jose represents maybe 2 seconds. That's how I have them evaluated. Whereas
And that's what the
Renard,
problem is.
I think
He's a second round
Renard,
pick.
he got drafted in the second round. So
Mhm.
I'm like, to me, I don't think he represents a first, like not
Let
even a single first. So that's the real question, like
and
for his
that is
value.
and that is why, like, you Schmidt, Ivory to a degree killed the Pelicans for the trade, the draft day
Yeah.
trade, because you're talking about the valuation of, like, it's not about what the player is or becomes or what you
Mhm.
think they are, like, at the end of the day. Because
Yeah.
I think the player is going to be a really good player,
Right.
right?
Of course. Yeah.
But at the same time, like, they thought Queen was going to be a really good player.
Mhm.
People are still upset because of what you gave up to get Derek Queen. So I guess it's a similar thing. Like, if they believed if they believe that this particular player had the high ceiling, I think he has a high ceiling. I have it's two young centers that I want, that I think could be potentially cornerstone kind of centers. One is, and we're gonna look at the other one next. One is Khalil Ware.
Oh yeah, Miami.
And
Yeah.
Khalil Ware, and the other is, I think, Maxime right now.
Now I would trade her for Ware right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I trade
Absolutely.
her for Ware right now.
So so I'm just saying, no problem. People probably wouldn't do this because you're looking at the Zach LaVine contract, which I really don't think the contract is that bad. Like, it's bad. Don't get me wrong. It's bad, but you almost out of it anyway. you
Yeah, we got
almost
1 year
out of
left.
it. Yeah, like, you almost out of it. And then, I mean, I go watch Zach play. Like, you ain't competing for nothing anyway. Like, give me another year, Zach. He makes you better. And if I got the center of the future on top of that, I consider it. For her, like, and then think about it this way: if you got the center of the future, right? Now, again, I get what because you can get way more for her. Like, you can get way more for her. So from that perspective, I'm with you. But for Herb Jones, who, bro, we talking about not playing Herb right now.
Yeah, I think how I would look at it is not only with the picks I would be losing, I also got to look at it like I'm losing tradable salary that I can attach.
Okay.
I'm just losing. I'm losing too valuable of an asset versus like with Renard. Even if I liked him a lot, he only make $1 million. So
that's true.
I couldn't even trade him away if I wanted to get nothing good because he don't make no money. So it's just like this, thinking about it from a standpoint of like A, B, C, D as far as steps. I would be like, well, I don't know if I had him, he would have to be incredible, like out the gate, because I couldn't move him. I couldn't move him this year, even if I wanted to, or next year, because he don't make no money. Like, he make $1 million. So I would have
They
to
say
attach.
right now he top 10 in the rookie standings. I don't know how much value we put at, but like, as a second round pick to be top 10 in the standings, that's something.
I mean, and this is a good draft, so that ain't nothing to sneeze at. This past year was a good draft. I think if I could get him as a throw-in, I would do it. Like, but well, if I could get him as a throw-in, I would go after him. But I think Herb is too valuable assets.
Yeah, I got you. All right, so the last one we'll do, but and they had another one for Sabonis where it was like Sabonis and Maxime, and then you add like similar deal, but like Sabonis instead. So I mean, you kind of run into some of the same things, except I think Sabonis would have more value than
I will say a lot of those vets on that team, including Sabonis, don't like Doug Christie. Like they have an issue with Doug Christie.
Doug Christie,
So
I don't know if he should have got that job or not, but
yeah,
that's neither for
yeah, neither
who
here
am
nor
I to
there.
say? Yeah,
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 that's
who am
why
I to
like the
say?
interim. I think the only time you ever really seen that work out is it's working out in Memphis right now. But other than that, and that it's working out, I say as compared to the Pelicans, because they just as injured, if not more injured. And the Pelicans wasn't shit when they had the head coach. They ain't shit now with the interim. So to me, that's man, people say what they want. That speaks volumes about James Borrego, in my opinion.
I'm gonna say this about James. I was killing James in the beginning of the process, and then I just feel like James, I'm gonna give him the grace of giving him time because it seems like he's just starting from scratch. Like I'm just giving him the benefit of I'm trying to erase the bad habits, create new habits, and like I don't even think it's been 30 days yet.
You know, I was giving him a lot of grace until I saw him lose in the fashion that he lost. And what I mean by that is any upgrade from Willie Green was thought to be an upgrade, right?
Right.
But Willie Green has some of the same issues James had as far as injuries and things of that nature.
I agree.
When James was losing games to Memphis, to Dallas, even closer games to the Spurs, games like that, some of the same issues was haunting him for his rotation decisions and injuries. And I'm like, well, damn, if I was saying Willie Green don't know how to call a timeout, or don't know how to substitute a motherfucker, or can't put the ball in his best player's hands when the game on the line, I'm looking at James like,
to the same
yeah, I gotta hold you to the same standard. And you got more talent to work with than Willie Green, because Willie Green didn't have Zion for points at a time, didn't have Jordan Poole for points at a time. He wasn't playing. Trey wasn't playing well. Herb was what the fuck, like you know what I'm saying. So I just think it's interesting. I think he's more of a. I think you gotta just not decide, but it's tough to evaluate how much of it is Willie Green is gone versus I'm here.
I agree. My only reason I'm giving James the grace, because I had to think about it. I'm like, bro, you've been here for a long enough time to where but they should have some understanding of what it is you want to do. And I'm coming like watching his interviews. These motherfuckers have no clue. Because I used to make the like before I started doing the show, right? Some of my thoughts about like why can't they run real offense, right? Was Willie Green that bad, or were the players dumb? You know what I mean? Because sometimes, respectfully, if you got low IQ players, you just
it's hard to do shit.
Ball. Yeah, we just it's got to be basic because they can't run nothing complex. And then when you hear like James talking about like they have to go over verbiage, they got to go over like just probably basic like out of bounds plays, defensive. Like I'm like, what you mean you got to go over the defense like that, bro? How hard is it to tell somebody to sprint back and transition and stop the guy dribbling to the goal? Like you learn that in like the earliest stages of basketball. So for him to have to do that, I'm like, maybe it was worse than we thought.
You know what I look at? I look at a number of things, right? Like personally, I never felt like James Borrego was actually in the running for any of those head coaching jobs.
You just think it was like his time to get an
interview?
I think it was
agent. I think it was like agent.
Okay.
Type shit. Because admittedly, if it was James Borrego versus Bickerstaff in Detroit right now, it probably look a lot different in Detroit. And who we'll never know. Like, we'll never know. But it's like never had a winning coaching record. He's probably not gonna have one this year. I hope he does, but he's probably not gonna have one this year. And
Oof.
so it's almost like that boxer who like you just a journeyman boxer that give tough fights, but you won't never win. Like and like you give everybody a tough fight, but toward the 11th, 12th round, they're gonna knock you out. That's the end of the fight. Like so, I almost wonder because I know for a fact that he's one of the people like, yeah, you know, man, I'm always near the top of the league in assists and all that shit. Like,
Yeah,
brother, that is
throwing out the
awesome.
numbers.
That is awesome.
Let
But
me get these dubs.
can I get a win with that? Like,
Yeah.
did that shit come with a win? So I
Can
don't know. It's interesting.
can he win you back? So that's why, for me, that's why I'm like, you know what? I'm glad you got the season, bro. I'm
Yeah.
glad you got the season because I've been up and down, like not up and down. I was like, oh yeah, this should be a good move. And then I was like, this might not be the guy. And then I'm like, you know what? That would be tough to say because if I was, let's say you were great at what you did, let's say you were a great marketer, right?
Mhm.
But you went to a new company and this company just shit employees and just, like everything was bad. How
Mhm.
long would it take you as the great marketer to turn this product into something tangible?
You know what? See, it's kind of like, let's say you're at the fire station, right?
Mhm.
You're at the fire station. You're like, man, I'm not necessarily sure how the terminology for your hierarchy, but let's say you got a person that's saying, man, I want to be the chief, right?
Right.
I want to be the chief. He playing all type of games too. He going to the ownership. He going to GMs. He's going to the media behind the scenes. He like, yo, if y'all make me the chief, shit gonna be different.
Right.
If I'm the chief, if I'm running this motherfucker, we
Yeah.
going up, right? Let's say the current chief get fired, and they saying,
Mhm.
well, Mike, you the
You
chief
wanted
now.
it.
You wanted it. You the chief. Nobody won't hear about all the problems the last chief caused. It's like, no, you said you was the man for the job. The fire is burning. So
Right.
we ain't gonna really want to hear like
Nah, this is the
mm,
only not even pushback, but the only thing I say about that. If
mm.
how long has JB been the guy? Like what, 12 games, 13 games, something like that?
Nah,
He's
he's about
he,
3-15, ain't he? Something like that.
no,
What's his record?
Willie lost 12. Willie lost 12 of those. He lost 10 of those. So he's 3 and
Okay,
10.
he's 3 and 10.
Wait, is that right? Yeah, he's 3 and 10.
I think
Because
he lost more. I could be wrong. Let's
Willie
see.
was 2 and was he 2 and 12 when he got fired?
Maybe.
I think Willie was
Maybe I'm
2 and
wrong.
I think Willie was 2 and 12 when he got fired, and
Let's see.
and J and right in there 3 and I think JB is 3. Yeah, I think he's 3 and 10. I think he's
He's
3 and
3 and
10.
10. Okay.
I think so. So I would say, and then 2 of the wins came, in back-to-back games or whatever. So
Yeah.
I would say in the how many games that in a 13 game sample, it's really tough to say right now.
No, he's 3 and 12.
He's 3 and 12.
Yeah, he's 3 and 12. I
Okay,
just finally found it.
Yeah, so okay, so Willie lost 10 games. They were 2 and 10 when Willie. Yeah, gotta be. Yeah, gotta be. They must have been. So they were 2 and 10 when Willie got fired, and then JB took over. So I just personally, I want to give him like 40 games because shout out to Mike, appreciate you. Shout out to Mike.
Well,
JB say he only had Poole for 2 games so far. Zion for the same amount of games as Willie. Unfair to compare him to the interims in Memphis who had the whole offseason to implement their stuff.
But see, here's the thing. I could say that if they weren't losing to bad teams. So, because I don't care about you losing to Minnesota and games like that. You lost to
the
Dallas,
Nets,
who had a ton of injuries. You lost to Memphis that had way more injuries to you, and you had Zion. You had Zion versus Golden State, and I had my book. You got a bunch of 4-quarter blown leads. You got like a number of the same issues, and also we can say some of the same things about Willie Green. As far as like what Willie Green, Jordan Poole was playing injured. Jordan Poole ended up getting benched. Willie Green starting multiple rookies at a certain point. Zion's hurt again. Trey's not playing well. Herb goes down with a calf injury. Herb's not playing well. Like we can formulate the same excuses kind of for everyone. So that's why I just zoom out and look at Borrego like, have you ever won at this level? And it's like, no, you never won in Charlotte and you didn't win in Orlando either. So
when you was the interim there.
Yeah, and now you're here and you about, hold on, let me see. You 9 games, if I'm not mistaken, below 500, and you losing to your fellow bad. Like, remember they had that soft spot in the schedule? We like, oh, they're gonna win. They're gonna win about 3 out of 4 of these.
They should.
You got your ass busted. So that's why I don't know, man.
Let me ask you this: if I don't believe they will. Again, I don't pick this team to win any games until they win them.
Oh yeah, me neither.
I'm like, people like, how you think? Because I used to be like, they should win, but after like
on paper,
and if they somehow found a way to win this Houston game, would it show? And let's say they won it convincingly, right? More than likely they get blown out tomorrow. But let's just say they won it convincingly. Would that give you some optimism for JB moving forward to be like, you know what? Maybe like could a quality win overwrite some of the bad losses as you move further into that process?
I'll say if Borrego can win, there's about 50-something games left.
Yeah.
If Borrego can win, just generally, I don't really care about the opponent or the style of victory at this point. I just think going into this season, all the development, everything was out the window, no matter who the coach was. Because once you traded that pick, the goal shifted. Like the goal had to be to not give up a top 4 pick no matter what.
Right.
And I don't care how much you like Derek Queen. Like I'm speaking generally to everyone.
Yeah.
If Atlanta call you today, say, hey, you want that pick back for Derek Queen, you gonna trade Derek? You like, oh, Derek, you gotta go.
You think so?
I think people lying to themselves if they say no, because get the fuck out of here. Ain't no way in the world. I think a lot of it is people kind of.
I think the only thing it'll do is to give you peace of mind. Let me ask you this.
And give you some options.
If Atlanta offered you, and I've been throwing this around too, it's perfect because we talking about trades. If Atlanta offered you your pick back for Trey, would you do it?
Trey Murphy?
Yeah.
Only reason I probably wouldn't, the only reason is because I don't like this draft.
Okay.
Like, I'm not a fan of the draft. But the idea of it, to me, that's more of an off-season thing, because we still don't know who Derek Queen will become. Whereas I know who Trey Murphy is kind of more or less. So I would need to know what the exact pick is for Trey Murphy. Like if you talk about you're going to give me pick 4 for Trey Murphy, if I like the draft, all right, let's do it. Let's do it today.
This particular draft. So like you say, okay, so if this draft it was pick 4 or 3, you do it for Trey?
I would have to know. I ain't followed this draft that closely. I don't really like the Boozer guy.
That's like,
these drafts be finicky. Kind of. That's why, that's like
let's use last year's draft. If this was last year's draft, would you trade
draft?
Like
who went? Wait, that's where all the French dudes was.
No, like Cooper, Dylan.
Oh, you went this past year.
Yeah, like this draft.
Would I trade Trey for VJ Ashcombe? No, but
okay,
I would trade him for Cooper, and I would trade him, and I would trade him. I probably would trade him for Dylan Harper too. I probably would.
Okay,
I probably would.
Okay,
and I ain't gonna lie, the way things is looking, a person could make an argument to me to trade him for Jeremiah Fears. That's how deep this past draft was. Right, with the way Trey started the season and the way Fear's been playing, you can say, "Yo, man, that's the guard of the future." This dude right here, because
he had to turn it around. You needed Queen to elevate Trey technically.
Yeah, like
not to a degree. To
a degree, like far as passing, because Queen's an incredible passer. I just think I think Derrick Queen is closer to his ceiling than other people probably think. Right? I don't see he's not going to grow 4 inches or nothing like that and become Jokic, or he not like super duper offensively skilled like DeMarcus. I think he's closer to who he's going to be right now. And I just think on paper, if they like, yo, what you want? A chance at a top 4 pick? Worst case scenario, it drops to 5 if you got the worst record in the league. Or you could just stand pat and roll with what you got. What you want to do? I think everybody would be like, man, I get 2 chances with the Bucks. I could have had another chance with Indiana, and I got another chance with my own pick. That would be 3 chances at a top 4.
Who still have Indy got their pick back. So
Indy got their pick back. But you traded that pick so you could trade up for Derrick Queen.
Yeah, trade up to the
so Derrick Queen really represents like 3 first-round picks. So it's like what I could, if I could erase all those trades right now or keep Derrick Queen.
You take Fizz and
taking Fizz, and that's it. That's it.
Would you rather have Fizz or Queen? I know that's aside from like the conversation, but
I would rather have Fizz. I think the upside is there. Even though I like Derrick Queen a lot, I think the upside is with Fizz.
I think elite guards, like elite guards can change your franchise.
Change everything, man.
Yeah, like if one of your guards becomes an elite NBA guard, like you could look at playoffs and like everything else moving forward. All right, so we kind of went off track a little bit.
But it was a good conversation though. Yeah, great conversation though. But go ahead, my bad.
No, you're straight. So here's a thought. We haven't done any Zion trades yet.
Okay.
Right, and everybody just kind of wants there to be a Zion trade. I don't want to say everybody. Everybody, but a lot of people believe that this is it for Z.
People tired of this shit.
Yeah, and I completely understand. Completely understand. So if I'm moving Z, right, I gotta like moving Z don't necessarily signify as a rebuild, but if I'm a trade Z, I gotta get something of value back. Something of value back for me personally. So it's two, again, I said this earlier, it's 2 things I think you need like for this team to move forward. I think like for the league in general, because I think you already got the guard, right? I think Fizz can, I don't know necessarily what his ceiling is yet. I don't want to say what a player like can max out. I mean, you just never know, right? But you have a guard and you have a 4 that's versatile, right? But I don't think those 2 together.
You think like, Derrick Queen versatile?
Offensively, yeah. I think like I could see in the future like him having, being able to post up. I think he could become. I think he's a good rebounder. Could become a better rebounder. I think he works on the shot, be able to shoot. Like he already takes more jumpers than Zion does.
4 you had,
yeah. So like I'm offensively. I'll put it that way. Offensively, I see Queen as a player that'll allow you to play a bunch of different kinds of ways. And I'm thinking about Queen from a sense of like he's still a baby to a degree, man. Like he ain't really got into whatever man body he's gonna get into. Yeah.
Like shot gonna come along. I'm asking just because just thinking about the best case scenario with Queen and Fears, I just question their fit together a little bit in this particular system. But go ahead. That's why I said
no. I agree with you, right? So I think that what they need, and they being the Pelicans, or like to damn near any team in the league, I think you need wings. And I think like Chet, Wemby, Ware, Maxine,
Lively
to a degree, but Lively don't have the offensive versatility as those guys do. But like those are the kind of 5s I think you need to find.
Oh boy, Chet would have been incredible, boy. Boy, Chet would have been incredible.
If you land Chet.
He always hurt, but he would have been incredible.
I don't care if he hurt. Like I don't care. That's why I said the same thing about Laurie to a degree. I think like 7-foot players that can block shots, run the floor, space, all of those things. Like all of those players, all of the like when Brook Lopez was doing that, a little bit better for Milwaukee. Like those players just really changed the game. So I need something like that if I'm moving Z. So I go Zion to the Heat, and the Heat been looking for
some type guy at this point.
And I'm sure with Heat culture, they probably believe they can resurrect Zion. And if not, like you said, you still could cut him at the end of the day if it don't work out. But I need Ware back. Like I need Ware. Now you got to make the salary work. A lot of people talk about throwing Terry Rozier there, but do you? I don't know. I don't know. Listen, what you don't. You just don't want to
go ahead.
Terry?
It's sad. That's how bad the salary. Like that's a real option because that's how bad the salary. I mean, Zion's situation is for him as a asset. But go ahead.
I don't know if so. I don't know if so. This is how I'm kind of torn on it because I don't think you have to take back Terry to get this done. But if I gotta take back Terry for one season to get Khalil Ware, if I'm moving Z anyway, then I consider it, right? So, but let's say it's not because I don't think I did this with Terry. I don't think they'll move Hero. Okay, but they've been talking about moving Hero before.
I think they got like a real star. I think they would.
So is almost close. I don't think they do that. I think they feel like that's too much for Z. And you just have to match the salary because regardless of what people say, you say what you want. When Z on the court, bro, there's limitations and all. The dude, he can play, dog.
Dude cold when he playing.
Dude can hoop. Like at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. And for these next, I don't know, maybe 3-4 seasons that you might be able to maximize, Tyler Hero not gonna give you what Zion could give you. Khalil Ware respectively can't give you what Zion could give you. So we'd have to figure out the salary real quick if they got another player, but let's just for right now, let's just leave it there. And if you could do Tyler Hero and Ware for Z, what do you land? Like, how do you feel about that? And after this, what would be your Z trade? But like, what do you land on this first? Pause if that's crazy.
I would probably because I don't like Tyler Hero contract. Just based on Tyler Hero's money, I wouldn't do it.
He got 2 years for 31 left.
He only got 2 left.
He got 2 left.
If he only got 2, then that might change my.
He got this year for 31 and then next year for 33.
I think it's a lateral move. That's the only reason why I'm kind of like, I don't know. But the reason I say that is because I don't think I could repackage Tyler Hero and get a first. Like if I could, like I couldn't send him nowhere. I don't think and get like real picks back. I don't think Tyler Hero playing right now, right? Whereas
I thought he just came back not long ago. I could be wrong.
Whereas I can really just cut Zion, use that cap space to take on a bad contract and get a first for it, right? Or
how you get where?
But see,
that's a player like that. You don't really care about that.
I don't really care about it because shit, I could draft one, or I could, something. Or what I would do is try to go buy a good player. Ain't a ton of good players available right now, but that's totally hypothetical. Let's say if Devin Booker was available, hypothetically, and I could get Devin Booker for Zion and Herb, I will go do that. Or kind of like with the Laurie thing, if I can get Laurie right now for Zion and Herb, I probably would do that. Like I would be looking and use that contract because that Zion is still a positive asset to the point where I don't have to I can get rid of him if I want to for us cutting them, but I don't have to get rid of him. Only 2 years left. Zion probably not even getting an extension. So like, so either way, I'm gonna have the cap space, and if I'm a team like the Pelicans, I'm not a free agent market, so I'm gonna have to take on bad contracts to get assets anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
with the Ware thing, it's kind of like with the Herb and Renard thing, the way like, do I view them asset wise and talent wise, or just let's just say asset wise, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got more options with Zion than I would have with Tyler Hero, even though Khalil Ware is just in there. Do you think the Miami could get a first for Khalil Ware right now? I haven't been following Khalil Ware this season, but do you think they get first for him right now?
Because so I don't want to confuse what I value the player as for what their actual value is. Right? Like I think really highly of the player.
I like Khalil Ware a lot.
I think he's the kind of player, he's shown flashes of like being one of those kinds of guys that could compete and challenge the Chets of the world. You know what I mean? And I think you need that kind of. I don't know if he's Chet necessarily. Again, Chet was number 2 overall, but
that don't mean shit.
It don't.
Talent is talent.
It don't, and that's my point. Like, you see where 7-footer shoot, dribble, defend the rim, dunk, run, and again, I'm thinking about this team from the what does Queen and Fears need? Right? Like, what do we need? Like, if you had a player like Ware, do you maximize trade? Like, do you maximize everything else around the roster? Now, that don't just mean you just move Z to anything, but and again, maybe you have an opportunity to find that player later on, right? But I think Khalil Ware is going to be really, really good. So I mean, that's kind of where I look at Tyler as like, not that Tyler could give me
stopgap type talent.
Yeah, like
kind of like Poole. Honestly, he's kind of like another Jordan Poole.
Yeah, exactly. Like if I got both of them right now, I know for sure. You know what I'm gonna have? I'm gonna have shooting. I'm gonna have guard play. I'm gonna have somebody who could get buckets.
If I can get a first in this deal or a first in a swap, I probably would feel better.
I absolutely think you could get some picks in this. I
do think you could get.
Yeah, well,
you might get a swap.
Again, it depends on how you feel, how they feel about Ware.
Yeah,
and how, not how we feel about Z, but kind of like how just how it plays out. But that was, if I'm moving Z, I need like Ware back, Ace Bailey type, like, and this is assuming that like you're in a rebuild, right? Something like that. Like you decided, okay, we not punting on the season, but like you done decided, like, all right, we lean into our young players, right? I need Ace Bailey type of a wing that I think is gonna be like, what's a young wing that you think is gonna, like, we need somebody to turn into Ant. Like, maybe not Ant, but you know what I mean?
Ace with that level of athleticism.
No,
but
not
I get what you're saying though. You need like a young perimeter.
I need Paul George. Like, I need young. I need somebody, because I think those are the two things that like just winning this league. Like,
man.
Shay.
My bad. I hate to not to cut you off. No, Memphis just beat, now Ant not playing, but Memphis just beat the Timberwolves. That's why I can't give Borrego no type of slack, dog. Because how Memphis is, even healthy, Memphis is so superior to the Pelicans right now. It just don't make no sense. No Ja, no Edie, no Brandon Clark, I don't think. No Scottie Pippen. And they still just way better than the Pelicans. It's just and that's why also the interim might have had all offseason, but he don't have the players that he implemented that system with, because all the players hurt.
Jaren Jackson Jr. is hooping right now. Jaren Jackson had 28 on 10 for 18, 2
and
for 3
fan
from 3,
base, they can't
12
stand
rebounds.
his ass.
Like, Jaren Jackson was hooping. Cedric Coward has been a nice
Yeah.
rookie. Jalen Wells has stepped up his play. Jock Lyndale gave you 20 off the bench. People frowned at getting Jock
Man,
Lyndale.
I wanted Jock Lyndale from Houston all off season, bro. I
Yeah,
kept
I remember
on
you talking
saying
about
that,
Jock
dog.
Lyndale. Jock Lyndale had 20 points. Listen to this. Jock had 20. He played 30 minutes off the bench. 20 points, 8 for 15. He was 4 for 9, 3 and 10 boards, 3 assists.
Like,
and that
bro,
player was too good for us.
This like, see, that's why.
And they new hitter ain't played. Cam Spencer been balling for them.
Man, that's why that's why I just can't stall Borrego out at all. you couldn't be like, you got beat by the Nets, dog, by 20. Like, ain't no.
I will say he hadn't been getting blown out as much.
Yeah.
That's progress.
Like,
He
I
has
think he
not
only
been
got
getting.
about
He got
2
the
or 3
blower.
like games where he just got his teeth kicked in. I think Denver second half, and maybe that Nets game. That's like 2. Yeah, OKC. So that's
OKC.
about 3.
Yeah, but I charged those up to the game.
I charged OKC up to the game. But
yeah, you was getting your ass, but regardless.
Man.
So
you about 7 games behind the 10th seed. Man, it's all right.
We'll see. Yeah. What if you was gonna move Z, and we'll close with this, man. Appreciate everybody that's been tuning in.
Yeah, like that,
man.
Yeah.
Hit the like button, man. Appreciate y'all, though. Shout out to Jock Lyndale. You heard me? Chaz be having an eye.
The man, they just cut Jock too from Houston. They just cut him.
I don't know, bro. So, what would be if you move in Z? What's your Z move?
It would just be Zion and Herb for Laurie. That's really the only deal realistically that I could see. Because with Queen, I don't think Queen and Sabonis fit. I still need a center.
Especially after watching how Queen looks and what I know of Sabonis, I don't think it works either.
Yeah. That's really the only deal I can think of, honestly. That's why, like, when I kind of just canvassed the league and I'm like kind of just being realistic about it. I'm like, the only thing
ain't nobody really there.
Ain't this like the league ain't as it's talented, but it's a bunch of like
it's young talent.
Yeah, it's like young talent. It's nobody that's like super like nice like that. I mean, if I could trade, I'm not getting Jaylen Brown, but if I could do like Zion and Herb for Jaylen Brown, I would do that. You know what I'm saying?
Would you do a 1-for-1 Z for Paolo?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I
know Herb too.
I know. I know for a while they were talking about, the Orlando fan base was souring on Paolo a little bit. You know,
trade him to the Pelicans.
Yeah,
fuck.
I would do that.
Yeah, he's starting to get hurt too, though.
Exactly. He's starting to have some of the same issues they be having with Z a little bit. But
yeah,
Paolo been to the playoffs twice, I think, and actually played too. So I mean, I don't think he's a better player than Z. Yeah. Yeah, they got smoked the first season, but they pushed them to 7 games, and that was coming back off an injury. Yeah. I was looking at like the Hawks. I was looking at the Hawks, and I don't know if I'd do it. Would you bring in Porzingis?
No. Not with the issue he has. Not with his health issues.
We and you didn't talk about it, but a lot of people talked about like if you were trying to get a young wing, maybe doing Z for like we rapid fire right now. Like E for like Brandon Miller, or do you think you could get Brandon Miller for not Z or Herb? I mean Z or Trey.
Brandon, I wouldn't want Brandon.
You don't want Brandon?
Brandon Miller, he looked like he was a flash in the pan. He looked too slow.
I get you.
He looked like the athleticism not quite there right now. It could be them injuries stacking up early in his career too, man.
Yeah, he's been hurt a lot. Do you think you could see something with Indy? It don't have to necessarily be, but like they have a distressed asset with Ben Mathurin right now. Do you see us possibly considering something like that, like Ben Mathurin, Cam Thomas?
Now that would be interesting. Ben Mathurin, he's a restricted free agent though. But if I could get like Ben and Nimhard, if I could get like a group of players in exchange for Zion, yeah, I probably would do that. I probably would do that. I think Zion and Pascal are gonna be an ugly pairing, but I probably would do something like that. Oh, you glitching real bad. There you go. You
I
back
see
now.
it. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, we good.
Yeah, you good
I don't
now.
know what's going on with that. Yeah, but like Nimhard, if I could get Nimhard and Neesmith, I think I'd do it.
If I can get it, I would need Ben because Ben young.
Yeah.
Maybe how old is Nimhard? 25. Holton Neesmith 26. Yeah, I would need some. I would need at least a first or two with that. But I would probably do that deal.
Shit,
two
if
really
you did
good
that,
wings.
if you did that for Z, and that's essentially like you become extremely deep to a degree, but you got to run a style for where those dudes can flourish. But that would be them. I don't think OKC. So let me ask you this: a lot of OKC about to come up with all of these picks. Do you try and make a play for one of the OKC possible lottery picks?
Well, that's one idea I talked about with Dotson. Actually, I got an episode coming out with that.
I bet we'll say that information.
I would try to trade. I would see if they want Herb.
I'd offer it.
Yeah, I'd be like, y'all want Herb for one or two of them picks? What's happening? Yeah, they got like what 13 picks over the next few years. Herb would be the perfect candidate for a team like that. That's rich with assets. They're contenders. They need a person like Herb right now. I would be like, give me I'd be like, give me salary. I don't give a fuck what players you give me. Just give me salary. I don't care if it's Luke Dort. I don't care who it is.
Yeah,
give me the picks. Give me about 2 picks. I don't care what players you send with it.
Yeah. Okay. See, we talked about the Lakers. A lot of people mentioned the Spurs.
This is Zion trades or just
it don't have to necessarily be Zion trades, but just like
I don't really see anything with San Antonio.
I know a lot of people talked about like Vassell to it. I just don't think like salaries pieces what they have, what we have. I don't think it necessarily matches, to be honest. The Timberwolves, I thought about DeJounte to a degree, but similarly with the Rockets. And when I was looking at the Timberwolves roster, it was hard to come up with something to fit.
Ooh, it's real tough with them. I think they're a Jose candidate, though. I think if you would do like Dillingham for Jose, but Dillingham another young guard, so now you got two young point guards.
I would want to put him next to Fizz. I would consider Shannon if I could get Shannon. I would consider that dude a beast.
You're like, what you think about Dante?
I mean, I think he's a solid player or whatever, but I don't. Not that we don't have a need for him or nothing like that, but I just don't know if like it don't move
the needle like that.
Yeah, like I don't think it do much for you. Derek Lively, you think it like I know we talked about the Mavs. We didn't talk about the Mavs.
Derek Lively got a lot of injuries. I would still trade her for Derek Lively.
Right now, you think? You think Derek Lively would fit next to Queen?
Oh yeah, because Derek Lively was like he just can't stay on the court, but he was looking like the best center in basketball at one time. He just never stay on the court.
Now I will say this clearly, Luka and Queen is very, very, very,
that's ugly,
very, very, very different, right? But I would like to see Queen like. When you saw how Luka was able to manipulate the offense and with how easy the pick and roll was literally unstoppable. Man. I am interested to see Fierce and Queen with a lob threat like a Derek Lively. That would be just somebody who could actually catch the ball like Five say.
Even just looking at how Queen plays with Trey, I think he threw Trey about 2 alleys the other night. Lively, if you could get Lively some good medical treatment, because he's young, but
this is not the right place for that.
Yeah, Lively would be nice though. I'm a fan of Lively, even with his
Got 2 years left on his deal, 5 year, another Rich Paul guy.
Yeah, worst case scenario, because I would need a pick too, because Lively ain't playing. I need at least 2 first still, but I take a chance on Lively or Kessler.
Yeah.
Like, because to me, it's pre-agency. I couldn't sign a player better than those guys in free agency right now if I wanted to. I ain't got the money. I ain't got the cachet, the market.
And you won't get like if they did hit free agency, they're not choosing you.
Yeah, and it's like being realistic. If Herb Jones was a free agent right now and the Pelicans signed him, it would be like some James Posey type shit. Like, why would we do that? Like, it don't even make no sense.
Interesting. Is there any like a lot of people just like you trade Z to just try to get back in the draft? So you consider Brooklyn, you consider Washington, Sacramento. Do you think any of those teams are willing to like move their first picks for Z?
Nah, to me that's the off-season thing. Because you got to see where they are in the draft. Because
they ain't gonna give up the potential of the pick right now anyway. Like they ain't giving up the first for Z.
I kind of wish people would clarify that. Like when they say that, it's like, do you want to get back into the lottery? Because that's what they mean. But because anybody,
you ain't saying the draft.
Yeah, you're saying the early, like you saying the early
top
lottery.
5. Like I want
you saying top 5,
yeah.
top 10. That's why I try to correct people when they say that or like ask for more details when they be like, you got to get back in this draft. I'm like, for what? Just off GP? So you want pick 29? You can easily go get pick 29.
I agree. I think they get back into the draft regardless, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like you got multiple, like you can move Jose, like the Jose to the Knicks if that's real. Like, dog, give me one of y'all, like give me something. Like I know y'all did whatever y'all had to do to get my Kel, but
they got a Washington pick that converts into like 2 seconds or some shit like
I'll
that.
take that.
I'm gonna lie, I'm sending Jose to Indiana. I'm sending Jose. I'm not sending Jose to New York. I ain't doing nobody no more favors. You going wherever they gonna give me the best deal, bro. Like whatever I get the best deal, you are out of here, buddy. Like
I ain't mad at it though.
Boy,
I ain't mad at it. I know Anthony Black was on like not on the like some people was considering Anthony
in Orlando.
Black
He balling right now, yeah.
I don't think you could get him none, but man, I think we did a great job today, though.
I think we went through it and discussed a lot of things, man. I thought it was a real thorough show. I'm just, when I look at these standings and like just looking at the teams ahead of the Pelicans right now, about 4 of these teams, I'm gonna say Memphis, Utah, Portland to a lesser degree, Dallas, and Sacramento. All those teams probably should consider tanking. Right,
I think all of them, but Memphis will.
I think, and then you got the Clippers, where it might not matter if they tank or not. So ahead of the Pelicans, and the Clippers can't tank, right? Because they don't own their pick. So
and they just might be bad.
Yeah, they might just be old and trash, right?
Yeah.
But when you look at the Pelicans, right? You 5 games behind Dallas. You 6 games behind Utah in the 10th seed. Now Utah, they're gonna have to tank. I think Memphis gonna end up tanking.
You think so?
I think Memphis gonna end up tanking because Ja hurt again. They did good with Coward. Edie's hurt. Like they just need more.
They're Jaren Jackson injury away from being like, all right, we shutting it down.
Yeah, from like we don't have a first or second option. Jaren started the season off hurt, right?
Yeah. Well, no, he played week 1.
Yeah, he played. I meant like more so like the off season.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
He played against us, but like in the off season, the preseason,
he ain't do none of it.
It don't make no sense for Kyrie really to come back this year in Dallas.
Nah.
Because y'all ain't got no chance of no ring. Nah. I don't know, man. The Pelicans gotta hope a lot of the Pelicans got
Kyrie might be out of there. I can't imagine Kyrie staying in Dallas.
I think if Anthony Davis gone, Kyrie gone.
So I'm saying they shopping AD right now too. Yeah. So it's kind of like, let's close with this. With this. Do you think, because I don't think last year's trade deadline was like that active, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they oversold it.
Yeah. Do you think this year's trade deadline is going to be active?
I think it's going to be active at the top. I think like the quote unquote contender teams, I think they're gonna try to like be scavengers because the bottom of the West is so bad and it's so cluttered that you got two teams can't tank at the bottom. It's the Pelicans and the
Clippers.
Everybody else can tank. So if you Cleveland, you just lost to the Bulls tonight. You're like, something got to shake. If you some of them upper echelon teams, something got to shake. So I think you see more activity. Now, I think yesterday, December 16th passing, and you're not seeing no activity, that could be a bad precursor as well, because if you do trades on the 16th, those players can still be repackaged and traded at the deadline. But since you ain't see no deals yesterday, that's a little telling.
I don't think nobody in a rush to do nothing. I don't think nobody in a rush to do nothing. But I think come January, come the new year, because
once Kuminga can get traded, that's when shit.
I think the season still hasn't quite sorted itself out yet either.
Yeah, because you ain't even 30 games in.
No, exactly. OKC is OKC, and you got an idea of the top of the West. The top of the East is
The East,
but if you in the East, that's what I'm saying. If you in the East, you make one move and you like, we could win it.
The East gotta be. That's why it's so good to be in the East, though. Like just watching as much Eastern Conference basketball as I watched this season. I'm like, oh, I don't believe none of y'all teams is. To me, the Celtics still like arguably the best team in the East. And if they trade Simons and get something good,
I had a deal for like who was I considering? I think it was Z for like just because the Celtics would do something like that, but like Z for like Simons, Hauser, and something else and picks. I don't know if it. Exactly. I was just looking for like interest. I had trades for like every team in the league, so but like it was like Z for Simons, Hauser, like Minot, and it was somebody else, the big, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, he cold. The African dude.
Yeah, that dude.
Yeah, he been pretty good. I know El Horford feel dumb as hell right now.
You know what? Walking away for that Golden State move, but like I think that's not that Boston would technically do it, but like they be the type of team that do, because Simon's on a 1 year, Hauser like he signed, but like so they find shooters all the time.
Yeah. Let me keep
everybody.
Let me ask you this. We get in on this one. Where do you think the Pelicans in this season? Because again, it's a lot of teams that got a tank for the Pelicans to really. The Pelicans got to like go on major winning streaks, and they need several teams to go on major losing streaks.
They don't even have to go on major winning streaks to do it. You know what they got to do? They got to do exactly what they did the year they won the 49 games. Like not go on major losing
streaks.
So you just need like 3-1 here, 2-2 here. You know what I mean? Like
I agree with that.
3-2, just slowly cut into it, and then before you know it, you might not get to the 10, but you'll look up because Utah come back to the pack. Sacramento coming back to the pack.
Right.
Dallas is gonna fight, but I don't know, like talent wise, what is that? Like Dallas is just naturally, unless Cooper take a step, he's been hooping, but like where they in be, it really just depends on health, like always. But I think I'm too optimistic, dog.
I ain't gonna lie. Look, I say that because man, I ain't gonna lie, boy. I got Borrego in the crosshairs. I just ain't gonna lie, because when I think about the fashion of some of these losses, I'm like, you couldn't steal that win. You couldn't steal that win. You couldn't steal that win, because everything looks different.
So now that they've somewhat got it, like
you healthy now.
Herb's back, Z, everybody pretty much back, but DeJounte.
Yeah, and he wasn't even.
Yeah. He wasn't expected to be here anyway. And you didn't have a little bit of time to start installing your stuff. So, like, I don't expect you to win tomorrow. Like, you're not beating the Rockets. Anytime I see the Rockets, I
I
consider it
would
a
punt
loss.
that game, honestly.
As
Like focus on the
so,
Pacers, focus on this
yeah,
team, beat the
like
teams you're supposed to beat.
that's where I'm at. So I I'll say this: if James can somehow get to the play-in,
Yeah.
if you could turn this to the play-in and they look a certain type of way, I would consider him for the job. And this is why I would consider him for the job. Not because unless Joe has, and me and Five had this conversation, unless you have an idea what you want them to look like unless Joe has I want a coach to coach them to play like this, then you could see a world where Borrego has a system, started implement some stuff, and like maybe in another year, some more talent or whatever, it starts to look better with an off season and training camp and all of that stuff. I don't know. That's being overly optimistic, to be honest.
I think if they end December with 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oof.
5, if they got to end December with at least 10 wins, son. If they can't end December with at least 10 wins, now mind you, if you end December with 10 wins, you still
You still probably the 5, 6
you probably like 13th at best.
So let's do that. So you got the Pacers.
Right.
I don't ever want to say you should win, but you got the Pacers.
No, I ain't gonna lie, bro. They should win. At this point, you're too healthy at this point not to win.
And is that in a lot of these at home? It's the Pacers, it's the Mavericks. Like you 1-1 with the Mavericks right now.
You should be 2-0. You should win that.
You should be 2-0, but again, if everybody is healthy and available, it's not on no back-to-backs at home.
Oh, Cleveland is a back-to-back. My bad. Because I had Cleveland as a win.
So that's another. So you play Dallas the first night, and then you go out to Cleveland. I ain't gonna say I'm punting. I'm punting.
Whoa.
Appreciate y'all, dog.
Shout out to you, J-Mac.
Listen, you went for a long episode here, but we almost at 3 hours.
Oh, yeah. We were
we were rolling. But you got the Pacers you could win, the Mavs you could win. Cleveland, I'm punting. The Suns, you got a home. You gotta split the Suns. You gotta beat the Bulls again.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're gonna beat the Knicks, but maybe those. That's one of the.
That's why I said. That's why I said 10. That's why I said you got to end December. Anything past 10, you did incredible. But if you can't end December with 10 wins, boy.
What they at 5 right now?
They're at 5. So if you can't end December with 10, like you gotta go so crazy.
I only counted 4 though. I only counted 4.
I had Cleveland as a win that I took away. So, but Cleveland just lost to the Bulls. Cleveland got injuries. Man, you got to start winning some unlikely games if you're the Pelicans too. Like everything
can't be the can't be.
It ain't always gonna be perfect. It ain't gonna always be perfect though.
Yeah, we'll do this and then roll out on this. Ingram or Trey, who's better?
I think they're the same tier player at this point. Like I watch a lot of Raptors basketball, and I just think they're the same. Well, I don't say the same player.
Look like
different. He looked like the same. He like the same person. Shout out to him for the help though.
Yeah, I'll say this. I think BI is still a better player than Trey because I just think I think he's more skilled. I think he's physically stronger than Trey.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's a better defender than Trey. BI when he chooses to rebound can rebound. Like, and we've seen BI go on stretches like again, sometimes it's few and far in between, but you've seen BI put the team on his back and it lead to wins as opposed to Trey. Even when Trey sometimes is played phenomenally, it hasn't necessarily been like in a winning effort, but I don't know if that's necessarily his fault.
I think Brandon's I won't say personality. I think Brandon gonna make sure he get his shots no matter what's happening. He gonna get his shots. And I think where Brandon is better than Trey to me is Brandon is better against bad teams than Trey is to me. Because when you like watching a lot of Raptors this year, the Raptors that had some incredible injury luck. Like everyone they've played has been injured. Damn that everyone they've played has been injured. Like I'm talking about this is the best injury luck I've seen since the Pelicans 49 win season. Ooh. So I'm like, God damn. Like everybody, they played the Pacers twice, Cleveland like 2-3 times. They played they like third or fourth, right? They like one game.
3 seed.
Yeah, look,
man, they won. This is crazy. They won 10 in a row and only like 16 and 11. Yeah, they started off like.
Guess who they play tomorrow? Speaking of injury luck, the Bucks. So they playing like I don't say terrible, but all those teams better than the Pelicans. They playing like the Wizards. Like they lost twice to the Hornets. Really? Like and
they the East though. It's the East.
They just in the East. They just in the East. But I will say I think Brandon, when it comes to like wounded teams or like bad teams, he's not going to
Brandon will put 40 up on your ass.
Yeah, he'll put 40 on you. Whereas Trey is kind of like hit or miss because you gotta set shit up for a trade where Brandon can go get his own shot.
Yeah, Trey still.
I got him in the same tier of player though.
I agree with that. Well, man, look, we appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. It's been a long. We be 3 hours in. You heard me? Fun and exciting 3 hours. You heard me? Everybody, give it up for Chaz, the man. Hey.
Well, I appreciate it, bro. Your team been playing like 3 days. You like, damn, there's a lot of shit going on with this team when I think about it,
bro. It's a lot to discuss. And like when you rolling, like sometimes that shit just rolls.
Yeah,
but. Man, I appreciate y'all. Hey, make sure y'all tap into Chaz's YouTube page. He's still doing Pro Pels. Man, Chaz be rolling with the lives. Got some great content coming out again with the members only shows and stuff like that, man.
Dropping Friday.
Yeah, look. So make sure y'all tap in. I know I'm gonna be tapped in. Appreciate y'all for joining us, man. Anything you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Man, just tap in with the channel, Chedda Chaz on YouTube. We got a new show launching called In Your League. Actually did the first episode of that. That's gonna be more like national NBA coverage, not just the Pelicans. I love man, tap in. Become a member. You know what I'm saying? Membership's going up. We're dropping every Friday. This is a real active week since they ain't have no game. So we got some cool scoops for y'all in the membership tier. So yeah, man, just tap in.
Absolutely. Yeah, for Pels in the Blender, man, I'm A. Davis. Had my boy Chedda Chaz on the building. Y'all be safe. Take care of yourselves, man. This what's tonight? What's today? Wednesday?
Yep,
it's Wednesday, man. Y'all should be getting ready for y'all kids for school, man. Make sure y'all tucked in that night. Y'all be safe out there. Pels in the Blender, we out. Peace.